This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Thanks.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and hear me out. Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just pissing them off as normal.
I see. This was a good week to piss them off. There's a lot of stuff for them to be pissed off about.
Man, yeah. Twitter's of course a minefield as normal. You know, amazing.
I am kind of surprised that we didn't get the. Well, I guess you got to wait for it because it's not official yet. But given the reporting that's out there, I was halfway expecting you to tell me that you have recorded your LVIII classical music version of like with the announcement of Will Ospreay already been known that he's coming in AEW. Okada, the news coming out about him. And also, big business being announced. I was expecting you to do the LVIII once the decision happened, where he said, "They said we want to get 2 of them. We got them all." So I was expecting that. I kind of was.
These are good ideas. I may have to consider breaking out the rant.
Okay. I mean,
you have to consider it.
What's the last time you used a LVIII rant format?
I think it was the Tanahashi winning the G1 in 2018.
Was that really after Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. All right, then.
It was.
Yeah.
So, longtime listeners will know if you've recently joined One Nation Radio. If you type in the definitive Alexa Bliss rant on YouTube, you will find 3 minutes of fury. There's also Hiroshi Tanahashi wins the G1 one, and then I kind of put it away. There are other things I'm sure I could have pulled the rants out over the years, but yeah, we're gonna. But when business is business, look out. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on, man.
I saw the show list. I've already forgot what was on the show list, as usual.
Yeah, man, we should probably start. Well, everybody that's listening to the show in podcast format, could you guys do us a favor and leave us some ratings and all that on whatever you listen to? Like if you listen on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I don't think it lets you like leave comments or anything, but leave us some 5-star ratings. Don't come with that fuck shit. And if it's a Apple Music one, we would love to see some new comments. I just kind of want to see what happens, like see if it will give us a little jolt or something, or if this shit is fake or not. So, but Super Bowl, that's where we should begin.
That's right. How could I forget, given that it is my background right now? How could I forget?
So, yeah, man. I watched the Super Bowl last night. I'm sure it looks like, what's the number? 123.4 million people did.
Jesus.
Smashing and shattering the record.
It broke the MASH record?
Yeah.
Really?
Or that I just see shattering the record from Josh number 2. I don't know if it broke the match record, but for Super Bowl, probably. This is for sure. But yeah, I watched my one game of the year. It got good to see Patrick Mahomes back again, just like last year, and familiar result. My one day fandom, shout out to Floyd Johnson Jr., who was on the show last week. Rave reviews. You guys love hearing Floyd. We love having him on here. But man, we almost should have got Floyd this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, at first it was pretty boring at first. It was like, the Chiefs were just getting bottled up in the beginning.
Yeah.
But after that, I was like, man, the 49ers is not breaking away.
Right.
And I was just like, it's a matter of time. They're going to crack them eventually. And it literally took them until overtime to run them down, and like fully, like to where like the possessions lined up with the score and the clock, and Mahomes, and then like there's no, because we're watching it with Alex and Alicia was rooting for the 49ers, and when they went up on that field goal, I think it was 22-19, me and Alex just kind of like sat there because like she was talking some noise and all that, and we were like, yeah, we know what's about to happen, we just gonna wait it out. And I feel like I didn't see brothers with particular skill on the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. I didn't feel like I saw like, the niggas that be in the 90s and the overalls. Like I didn't feel like I saw them on the Kansas City Chiefs, except Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Yeah.
I mean, that was a story about this year. And I'll save it for a later point. Is that like, This was a defensive team. This is not the team that when Mahomes inherited, it's there's two Hall of Fame talents at tight end and Kelce, Tyreek Hill, complimentary big possession, contested catch receiver like a Sammy Watkins, and just a makeshift defense, right? This is now over time has turned into like a great defense with two corners that can lock you up and cause problems for you. And, Chris Jones, who's been an all-pro for multiple years now, and they can hold you down. And at this point now, it's like we have nickel and dime Mahomes with his offensive skill weapons so far so much, but he has blossomed so much as a game manager, and I mean game manager in the actual sense of it, not the derogatory thing of saying you're not making plays. Like, get you out of, we get to the line. I see the alignment of the defense. I change the play to get us into something that can get us to win and keep us ahead of the chains when need to, and I can use my feet or whatever else. Like, I mean, that managing of the game. And yeah, like, it's been interesting to watch him accumulate these numbers while like becoming less of the flamethrower, more of the surgeon than the butcher, if you will. And it doesn't matter. He still fucking wins because when he gets the ball last, you lose. That's the main story of all this. So I am going to change my I'm going to change what I just had in here in my background to accommodate my next point about this and why this is so crazy. So the thing for me watching this game is, you mentioned that the time when they went up in overtime to get to the field goal. I'm sorry, when the Niners went up in the field goal with the new rules of it being, it's a new game. Even if they scored a touchdown, the Chiefs would have gotten the ball back. They had to mash it and to keep the game going. Otherwise, the game went over. But the thing that I saw, and it just like, wow, for me, was when they kicked the field goal to go up by 3 in overtime. And they cut to Purdy. Purdy's clapping politely, like, yeah, we're up 3. We can, whatever. And they cut to Deebo Samuels. And Deebo has this look on his face. Because he knows they're fucking going home. You just gave Patrick Mahomes 4 downs to score 7 points. It's over. And I felt like it was over. When I saw this on his face, I was like, even the people that just went up in the Super Bowl feel like it's over. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sit back and watch this. And he reels off the 2 runs, the one on 4th down, which is like it's come to find out it was a pass, it was a run pass option. It wasn't like traditional zone read, but it's like they did it earlier in the game. It worked because Bosa is just crashing down because like I think we figured out like the way to have the best quarterback ever. It's not that you need somebody to have Vic or Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton for legs or whoever else you want to say that's all-time scrambler. It's the person that can make every single throw under the book, protect the ball, and also have the legs to where the defense forgets that you have legs, and when you use them, it completely devastates you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Mahomes has done these last Super Bowls. Like, obviously, last year he had the bad ankle, but he still broke off that big run in that game against the Eagles, when you're just like, oh, y'all lost. And I don't blame you if you want to quit right now, because that's devastating. You had him bottled up, and he climbs the pocket, and he gets out and breaks off the big run. And then Bosa, he's like, why am I... You know, they ran a bunch of that option, and they were killing it. Like, they could not do it, or the Chiefs could not move the ball, running the ball traditionally out of that shotgun stuff. Just couldn't. But whenever he decided to pull the ball, because the read was so obvious, that's how hard Nick Bosa was crashing down. And there's the run pass option, he could throw it out to whoever's running it, like the flat route or the air route, whatever you want to call it. It's opened this huge gap, and he just take it. And it happened twice. It happened early in the second half, and it happened in the last drive. And then they get down the field. They throw a little tight end screen to Kelsey. Kelsey gets the first down. So now it's first down in goal, like 3 yards out, and it's like, oh, it's over,
bro. That Travis Kelsey thing, I was like, when I saw him catch that, and he was like 10 yards out, and then like there was like 4 dudes in front of him. He charged to the 5, and then that pile like moves a little bit. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this nigga's about to carry 4 niggas to the end zone. Taylor Swift is going to teleport onto the field. Like after this is a movie ending. We are going to see this forever. And then like he went down somehow, and I was shocked.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck? Hold on, what?
Now the reason why it worked is because that's the thing that makes like the difference between like Gronk and Kelsey is that like Kelsey is slippery and shifty and has great change of speed in direction or whatever else. Gronk is just a straight line machine and a monster, right? Like he'll never have the hips and ankles and mobility that Kelsey has, but Kelsey, like in that same sense, like he got through that pile because he was able to be a little shifty going through and fight through, and he got stopped on a dime. Whereas if the polar bear had got the ball in that situation, he may have not gotten past the line of scrimmage on that play, but if he had gotten past the line of scrimmage, Gronk is carrying every single motherfucker into the end zone. But the thing is, I don't know if he actually gets through to get past the line of scrimmage like Kelsey did. So that's like the difference of like athlete between those two, and that's why those two are, in my opinion, the 2 greatest tight ends of my lifetime. So yeah, like then it sets up again, right? Similar concept to last year's Super Bowl when they ran it multiple times, send the motion to stack the receivers. And when you're in goal line, you have to play man because it's too easy for a receiver just to find a hole and turn around and just catch the ball, right? So you have to play man. But with the shifting and the stacking, the DBs in the back have to like figure out, all right, I'm gonna have inside leverage here, you have outside leverage here. I'll take the in breaking route, you take the out breaking right, or you take the high route, I'll take the low route. They have to do all that stuff and figure it out. But when you do the short motion, your eyes automatically, like, depending on responsibility, your eyes shift to the backfield or to responsibility. You forget that, like, he can always just come back out this way. And that's how the Eagles got scored on 2 touchdowns in Super Bowls last year with the Chiefs. They ran the concept that we talked about with him pulling the ball or whatever else. They ran both concepts in the same play, and it breaks for a touchdown. And they didn't run that at all in the game. But it was like, they pulled out the play from last year, plus the concept that torched them for big runs for Mahomes. It was like, what can you do with this fucking guy? This is the perfect guy. Like, you go through Andy Reid's history with quarterbacks and all the stuff with, he has Favre when he's the offensive coordinator there from Holmgren, right? He gets the Eagles job. He has McNabb, which is unconventional for the time. He has to learn how to work with Kevin Cobb on the back end of that. He then goes to Kansas City. He has one of the better college quarterbacks you ever seen in Alex Smith, but a college quarterback style nonetheless, and he made it work. And then he finds the guy that has all the tools, and he has all the experience of all these unconventional type of quarterbacks to work all this college shit into the NFL. And he was always one of the greatest play callers of all time. And it's like, what the fuck can you do? You have Mahomes on point, and you have that guy on the sideline, and you have the tight end that runs a million option routes and get open at any time because he just knows where to find the space in the zone. It's when they're on point and he moves and he gets desperate, Mahomes, to use his feet, you just can't fucking guard him. And it's almost like, an example I use, it's like when you watch a Shuri fight or Shuri match, and it's like, okay, here's the match. She gives you a little bit of sprinkle of lucha libre, have the technical wrestling or whatever else, the mat wrestling, all that kind of stuff. And then the person starts coming back. She's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna kick him in the chest a million times till they fucking cave. When he uses his feet, you cave. You're done. And it's almost like he's inevitable.
Great point in the comments. What you do is not get your extra point block. That was crazy. And
but it would, I felt like I saw wash. It would have came out the wash eventually anyway.
They'd have figured it out.
Yeah.
I feel like there were a couple plays like where the shit was reminding me of like John Elway like running like, and then like that last remember that one time he got like spun around and shit. Yeah, like that. But like Mahomes like took off on that like 20-yard run. He did that shovel pass or whatever too. I was like, man, if this was Brett Favre, they'd be out here talking about, oh, he just loves the game. He plays like a kid. We love him. Like,
but that's the thing with Mahomes, because like his background, like he was a pitcher too, right? Like he was a high school, college pitcher. So it's like he has all that sidearm action shit. Like you should have saw the way people were talking about Mahomes when like he first came on the team and he was throwing no look passes for completions, like literal no look passes, and it was like, what is this? And then like over the last 2.5 to 3 years, like all of a sudden, like he started seeing so many like too high safety cover 4 looks, and he had to like learn how to be patient and just take underneath stuff because teams are like, we're not letting Tyreek Hill just run 50 yards this way. We're just not doing it no more. We're just gonna have all the protection back there. You have the dink and donkas down the field, and hopefully you have to be perfect over 7 plays to score on us. And over these years now, he's learned, and for like about the first month of that season 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, it was like, people were like, have they figured him out? And then it was like, he just has now his quarterback now. He has to be the surgeon, and he's not a surgeon, and he's still just eviscerates people. And then, when it comes down to it, can't run the ball at all. They run play action, and he throws a fucking 40-yard dart down the field on a attacking a safety on a post. And it's like, he can still do this. It's just the receivers don't get open. So, that often. So, like, yeah, man, he's just phenomenal. And I even while saying that, like, the defense is incredible to hold on, to have to deal with that kind of onslaught, because I'm watching the game and I'm just like, okay, McCaffrey fumbled on opening drive. All right.
McCaffrey was awesome.
Yes, he was. And you make the argument that they should have given the ball more, but he was tired. Like, that last drive, he came out the game because you could see him like, walking off gas because he was so tired, and he took off a couple plays and came back in. But it's like the Niners did not. The Niners used him as much as they probably could have, but like if they could have used him more, they would have won this game. They got really cute in like the end of the third quarter, or end of the second quarter into the third quarter, which is like not just trying to just pound the rock. And it ended up costing because Purdy he's missing open shots, in times when they had people open, he just can't make if he gets moved off his spot, he doesn't have the arm strength to like be able to follow through and like do like the Eli Manning and throw off your back foot, and sometimes it's inaccurate, sometimes it is. Like whenever he goes off his back foot, it's never accurate. So yeah, it's just Purdy.
It seems like, the 49ers could have used a game changer out there, I don't want to shit on Purdy too bad, because like
his limitations are his limitations, but within his limitations, he's playing as well as you can ask him to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not like it's not like a who's somebody else. Look, it's not like a Josh Dobbs situation where it's like, I don't think this dude's an NFL quarterback, and then like he comes out here and he throws the game away, or he does he makes the right read. Just if things go wrong, you're done in most situations. Like you're not going to have him extend the play like that. And even I can't even say like that because he actually extended the play a couple times in Super Bowl, but I mean like consistently, right? He's not going to be able to create outside the pocket consistently, and they shouldn't ask to do that. He has multiple All-Pros on that offense, and Debo goes up with comes out the game for a short amount of time with a bad hamstring. Trent Williams out here shaving points with back-to-back penalties. Like it was just unfortunate for them because like that was a really good team, and like you look at like that path that the Chiefs went through just now, they were the underdog in 3 straight games to win the Super Bowl.
That is tough. Like, and going into people's houses. Yeah. Back to back league MVPs, Josh Allen.
So my question for you is this, right? Now that you've seen 2 of these games, and they're not necessarily, they're great games, but not necessarily like the greatest games ever from Mahomes, right? Like,
yeah, like I was gonna say, like he didn't bust the defense open or do anything like that. It was a lot of like short passes and stuff, but it was like all that shit just kept adding up and adding up and adding up, and it was just like, yeah, man. It felt like a well-oiled machine, like just literally like a factory. Like, all right, they're gonna get what they want on offense. It doesn't matter. Like you're gonna take the top. Like they can't go deep. Their entire like I don't know all the terminology, but everything short is right there on the table for them the whole game.
Right, and like it was like
except that one time he took a shot where he was just like, whatever, and then he threw a pick. But
and I mean, even then, that pick is like, I don't know if you know this, like that was his first pick in the last 2 postseasons.
Mm-hmm.
He won 2 Super Bowls and threw 1 pick.
That's crazy.
Like the dude's incredible. Like there's just not enough to say about the dude at this point. And like we're now 6 years as a starter. He's been to 6 conference championship games. He's been to 4 Super Bowls. He's won 3 of them. He won Super Bowl MVP 3 times. He's won regular season MVP twice. Like, we've never seen nobody be this good at football ever. Ever. For like to come in over 6 year span, no one's ever been as good at football. Sorry.
Yeah, man,
it's unbelievable. And it's like he's 28. Like we should be able to expect like play like this for another decade or more.
Crazy, man.
Like I don't know where the hell he's taking us.
What if they draft somebody that can catch the ball?
Right.
Right. They get open.
Yeah. I mean, you already know who I want to draft, but sometimes I don't get those kind of dreams. But like, if they would like to draft Keon Coleman late in the draft as a steal because that man was hurt the last half of the year and his tape don't look all that great, I would, but he's going to, when he tests, he's going to test off the charts because that man was a Michigan State basketball player, and he was out here doing windmill dunks in jeans. I would just like for him to fall. Like I think that tape ain't good enough, for a first round grade. I think people need to see him, and when they see him, they be like, oh, okay. And then you get like, that's another thing. Now that we're talking about it, like I want to talk about this. So. We talked about the Tyreek Hill era of like they had big bodies, Kelsey and Tyreek Hill on offense at the skill positions, and Damian Williams at running back, and they had dudes that looked the part and could play the part for their size. And then Tyreek Hill leaves a few years ago. The guys get smaller and more gadgety. Like it's a lot of like Darren Sproles types, like the small dudes that they can play, but it's like you wish you had someone bigger that you can go to. You wish you had an actual possession type of guy, and he still figured this out. And like last year was like replacing like the Sammy Watkins roles was like Juju Smith Schuster. They let him go. I don't know why. And then they is out here with Kadarius Toney. That's another
two-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, bro. They won a Super Bowl with the starting wide receiver. They said we need to scratch because we feel like you are an op.
Look, I don't trust nobody that willingly shaves their eyebrows off and just rocks them like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he has hair. That's not alopecia.
I saw that. I checked the chin hair first before I made any jokes or anything. Yeah. I was like, hold on, let me make sure it's not out. Okay, I'm filing that one away.
Yeah.
And
make sure this ain't no KG Charlie Villanueva situation.
Yeah.
You're not going to have me out here. Also, never mind, I ain't getting that, but Charlie Villanueva snitched on that, man. Like, you ain't finna bully me, I'm gonna snitch on him. And then KG off the roof is like, you say that he
cancer to the league.
Did you say that he was a cancer patient? No, I said he was cancer to the league.
Why?
We watched basketball our whole lives. KG absolutely caught it, man. They can't say he like a cancer patient.
Yes.
I respect that he lied to try to save himself from the media, but we know. Yeah.
Well,
but,
you and I know what's going on.
Right. Yeah, right. So just to watch this team change over these 3 titles, it's like it goes from the greatest show on grass, basically, to the Laser Light show, to last year, this team, the defense is coming around. They're pretty good, but it's like Kelsey's on another level. His health is better than it was most of this year. And they had a big body receiver they can still go to, and like someone like Valdez Scantling can still take the top of the defense. He scored a touchdown in the game last year. And then this year is like, nah, man, if you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to treat this like one of those like first 3 rings Tom Brady type of situations where it's like, you got a great defense. This game's going to be close. It's on you to have in a 1-game situation, in a 1-score situation to get us out of here. And he did it. Like, he's had 3 different types of teams and he's won it. And we've seen all-time greats like Brady with new teams, and he had struggles. One of them eventually, but like it had to come around the back end. Like that 07 through 09 Randy Moss era situation, obviously 08 towards knee, but it's like he didn't win with those teams with the greatest shows on turf. He had to adjust and all that kind of stuff. Mahomes had to adjust already 3 times with 3 different teams and already won them. It's remarkable, and I'm like, I don't know where he's taking us, but like I can't wait to see what's the rest of this ride, because unless there's gonna be some type of injury, some type of sickness,
that Rick and Keel type, thing, like nah.
Kelsey's health, he's older. Like that's the only thing that I can think is gonna make this like harder to do. Maybe Josh Allen decides like, hey, because I think he's Barkley in this situation. Like we're calling Mahomes Jordan. He's Barkley. Like he's the best guy that when he's ever played him. Like, unless he basically general support is like, hey man, I'm going all year and I'm not going to throw more. I'm not throwing 10 picks all year. Right? Like, I'm not saying it's a choice he's doing, but like, unless he like catches that kind of fire for a year or whatever else, I don't think there's ever going to be a real rival to him in that situation. Like, cause honestly, outside like a month of football in like a second half against the Bengals in a playoff series, he's been a perfect quarterback. He just has. So I'm yeah, man. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Congratulations to the Chiefs. Congratulations to Floyd. Congratulations to Nick Wright.
Yeah, a fool.
Did you see some of that stuff?
I watched the segment. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
He was dropping banners and shit.
I saw that. He dropped balloons on him. He dropped balloons on Broussard. I was wondering Broussard was going to, ask him a question, but
yeah. But yeah, man, Caleb Baldwin, come get this L. The 49ers Nation as a staff, record label, and crew, y'all will never prosper until y'all do right by Colin Kaepernick. Y'all niggas is cursed. The cap curse in full effect. Still continuing. So I ain't never rooting for the Niners in none of these situations.
I gotta say, like, they screwing up protections. Like, I gotta say, like, if you screw up protection and the screw up protection is like the right guard and the right tackle, neither one blocks Chris Jones and it blows up the game. What would have been like the game-winning touchdown. Gotta say, it seems like kind of cursed because you kind of want to block the fucking Chris Jones. He's fucking good.
But yeah, man. Let's switch gears, man. The WrestleMania press conference. thing of its kind that they haven't done. It seems like, something new they tried this year, and it was, to be fair, it was kind of a mess. But at the same time, there was kind of a unscripted kind of charm to it, I think. It was like, Zekamaki in the comments, it was straight out the Endeavor UFC playbook. Yeah, this was totally not like something in wrestling. It's like you just brought a crowd out, and I think it was about 3,000 people there, and then you put up a big video board, and you had all these guys come out on the stage, but they weren't in the ring. So it was like they were all kind of standing and positioning themselves like kind of funny. And the entire event was like, all right, here's Bianca Belair. She comes out there and talks for a little bit. Here's Rhea Ripley. Oh, here's Becky Lynch facing off with her. They're kind of shooting angles or whatever in this thing. But we eventually get to Seth Rollins getting his country ass called out here. And he gets on the mic. He's wearing foolishness. He looks ridiculous. Par for the course. He's talking, and then I think Roman Reigns is out next, if I'm not.
Seth was calling out Cody, and then Roman interrupts with his music dropping, and he comes out,
Yeah. And as each successive person comes out, Seth Rollins gets further to the right on the stage, and then to the point where he's like completely non-visible, just looked like he paid admission to be there. Like, just he had phenomenal seats for what was going on there. He was closer to the action than Mills Lane, essentially, but we couldn't see him.
I mean, to be fair, we do not necessarily know if whether or not Seth did or did not pay to be close to the action.
True. This whole thing ends up with Roman out, The Rock coming out, Cody coming out, and Cody essentially
Cody coming out as if he's like at the last second coming out to stop it, like he's rushing to stop the wedding. Like
comes out without his music.
Yes.
And it's like, hold on, bro. And like, they're setting Roman Reigns saying, I want you to fight me. I make the decisions and all this stuff. And my head is hurting at this point. Like, when I tell you this thing is like, it's kind of unorganized, and like it seems like no one really knows like what the fuck is going on. And then like Cody comes out, crowd like is happy to see him, but then he's like, this is bullshit. This ain't going down like that. And I'm like, what's bullshit? You let it happen,
right,
nigga? Like,
not only did you let it happen on your watch, you agreed to it on screen. What?
So like, unless I'm stupid or something, like, it's like, okay, how does this make sense at all? So right. Like, essentially, he's like, yeah, man, actually, I'm fighting Roman Reigns. And then it's like, the pop is like, they're like, I feel like the crowd was confused. They're like, hold on, I thought it was Reigns and The Rock.
Well, why were you confused? Why can you be, or why would you be confused? The Royal Rumble winner decided to get out the fucking ring when he was face to face with the person he chose, and then said that his cousin was going to wrestle the champion. And then the champion comes out on the stage minutes before and says that he wants to fight his cousin. What's confusing about this?
Everything.
It's dumb. It makes no sense. Oh,
yes. Everything. Seth Rollins, nobody's paying attention to this guy, as I mentioned. He looks like a cuckold. He's just watching the action. Nobody's saying, I want that guy over there.
That's a good line. He's a cuckold. He's watching the action.
That guy, that'd be like, yeah, I want that guy that's 15 feet away. I want that belt that's all the way over there. Nobody said that they wanted that. Roman Reigns didn't want it. Cody completely ignores the guy. The Rock, obviously, I'm shocked The Rock even knows who this is. Like, oh, I think I worked with you once, a long time ago, right?
That's right. Didn't the Shield lay him out with a triple power bomb like a decade ago? Yeah, or more than a decade ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, oh, he's out here. Is he wanted to break up guys? Like, is
he the first geek that assembles to break it up? Yeah,
correct. Like, Seth Rollins has never looked weaker, and it validated every thought I've ever had on him not being a world champion, a top star, swaggerless, all in one. Like, he looked just, it was comical. Like, the way he came off out there, he did all his talking in the beginning before the real stars came out. He was on a word limit. And he exceeded that word limit because we never heard from him again on the microphone. Anything that he said had to be captured secondhand. Like, oh, the mic was still a little bit away from him like this. You know, like you got to hear Rollins like this off the mic and shit.
Right. and when they... okay. I want to go through the breakdown of what happened. Or actually, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Cody
and
comes
CM
out.
Punk's out there, too. I forgot.
Yeah, Punk and Big E are basically, like, doing commentary work or they're doing reaction for, like, analysis work, right? Like, they're, like, the guys on Get Up or at the desk on ESPN in the morning, right? They're basically like, we want you to come in here and talk, you and Big E. And I thought that, like, all right, I did not watch the entire press conference because why would I? I only got brought here because there were so many people talking about this clusterfuck that they've gotten themselves into and how unorganized it all looked. I was like, and I heard Cody got slapped. I was like, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. So I watch it, and as I'm watching, I'm ultimately like, I see all the motivation and I see where they're going with this and what they're doing. The problem is, I saw what they did on TV, and like, if you took out two things or you changed two things, it works and it's actually really well done. Like, regardless of how like organized it is, whatever else, ultimately compelling once Cody comes out or Rock comes out, the crowd is 50-50 on him, a booing him and cheering him based off whether they want Cody or not.
Ass.
Rock is playing the I'm playing heel in this because I know you're going to boo me and I'm winking at you as I'm calling him Cody Crybaby. Like, I'm a heel that doesn't want to be a good guy. I'm a heel that doesn't really want to be a bad guy, but I know I have to do this to make this work. So he does that, shows the family tree. The family tree, which I always thought was two families based off of two, and they come together and they say these are blood brothers and they're all family, and that's fine. That works for me. As they lay out the family tree.
Bro, I realize how much I don't give a fuck about the family tree of the Samoan legacy. Bro, I was like, who could possibly care?
Well, one, because it's not actually a Samoan legacy. It's Roman Reigns, it's The Rock that we know in our lifetimes, and then a bunch of other people like a all-time great tag team in that, and then the rest of it is like Yokozuna, Umaga.
Y'all niggas had jobs. Y'all niggas working in the business.
Right. And all of them, and don't be wrong, the majority of them were actually good workers for their size and mobility, but like they were just guys on the roster that were quality guys to have or whatever else, and that was their runs. So it ain't exactly like, just a slew of main eventers and IC champions abound, right? That's not the case, and that's perfectly fine. So, but the thing that was funny to me is like, I always thought this was two families and they basically, for wrestling, combine family trees or whatever else, and you see it spread out. Now looking closer, I'm like, I always wonder how Tamina was in it and how Snuka was in it. But then I look on it and it says, oh, I think Snuka's daddy was the Great Western Samoan Chief. I was like, what the fuck is that?
He's making shit up.
Like, maybe he was. What does it have to do with the Anoa'i and Mayavias? Explain that to me. So then I look up higher on the list and I see another disconnected line.
Bro, the higher it gets, the more ridiculous it gets. Right.
And then I see Nia there, and I see Nia's parent or whatever else. I don't know which one. I'm like, and then there's in like the same way that there's like the Great Western Samoan thing for the Snuka line being put in this, just cause there is what do you call it? there's exposition in the thing, but I have looked at like 5-year pictures. The fine print is so small that I cannot see what's the disclaimer for why it's up there justifies. And I was like, oh, so there's some fraudulent shit too. This is your friend. This is like if we do 40 years from now, right? We do the Keepin It Strong Style dynasty, like the West Central Florida Japanese pro wrestling dynasty of podcasting. I know. That's a really long title. But just stick with me, right? Just stick with me. We got Blood Brothers, Jeremy Donovan, and Joshua Smith, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, off the branches, you see Rich Lotta. Oh no, that's not even gonna count. I'm not even gonna do that one. We're gonna do Zachary Porter, a random line out of nowhere, and it's gonna say in the disclaimer, meme guy, meme creator, listener of the show, friend. And then on the other end, we're gonna have Dan Coffin and Angie there, and it's gonna say friend, and that's gonna be the one that we can't see all of the exposition. Co-worker of Zachary Porter and Rich Lotta from One Nation Radio on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. And you be like, how the fuck is Angie? And you look for you, how the fuck is Dan and Angie on this thing? How does this make sense? What's going on? What's happening? This was incredible looking at it. It's all like, bro, I always thought it was always funny to call them play cousins. But it was so fraudulent. It was like, that's not even, I don't even know, that's barely a family friend that you would put on the family tree. That makes no sense for him to be there.
As the old saying goes, the only Samoan up there that wasn't up there was Joe. Like, that's the only one that wasn't up there.
I mean, bro, they had Jacob 2 up there. Now, I remember back in the day, Triple H was on a podcast with Steve Austin. He talked about the WWE Hall of Fame and certain people being on there or not. And then the reason why they can't be on there is because kids might, Google a name and then you see something that pulls up on the search results. I don't know what pulls up on Jacob 2 search results, but it ain't good. I don't know if it's on the second page or if it's in the middle of the first page, but eventually it'll pull up. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Maybe he's on the radar again. They'd be like, we can go with this now. We can go with this. It's fine, and he'll be in. And maybe that's who screws Cody this year at WrestleMania.
Who knows?
Right.
CM Punk's out there doing all these kind of insidery shoot comments, saying he would punch his boss in the face and just running the joke into the ground. Did you hear it, guys? Did you hear it? I said it again. I'll say it again. Like,
I thought the joke that he was saying wasn't even necessarily about the Tony Khan thing in Wembley. It was more of the poking fun at the Bucks thing. It was like, look, man.
Oh yeah, we fight.
Sometimes you got to fight to solve issues. And I was like, bro, we know what you're doing. And I think it's funny and hilarious because it's two things. It's playing into that, and it's also playing into like, it's Vegas, it's Super Bowl weekend. It's also Vegas in that like the Super Bowl's not just there. This is where the fights happen. It's the fight capital. And the fans are there for Super Bowl, but they also are here for the fake fighting. And like, you see someone get slapped, and like, there's the face-to-face conversation, the press conference where someone fights, or someone throws a punch or whatever, they go toe-to-toe or whatever else, and they get broken up. It makes you want to see the fight more. And he's praying into it and being like, get hyped for what's happened at WrestleMania while he has the fucking arm brace on. And I was
man
like,
looks like Jax from Mortal Kombat, like.
And Big E looking at him, he's like, I don't want to say in awe, but he was like, this is really good work from CM Punk that he's out here doing. He's cutting 2 promos in one like he did before he left AEW, except this time he ain't got no dumbass belt with a spray painted X on it. So yeah, man, it was I thought that like,
but I'll say this though, like they the success of WWE last 2 years has not been this stuff. This this meta, like this, like work the dirt sheets. This we're just doing swerves for the sake of swerves.
Right.
We're doing all these like Triple H in the back after this talking about people going into business for themselves. They had the Rock,
which was clearly a setup so they can do the walk by of him and Rock saying set it up, do the thing, be like, and he's playing into the I am like. I am
the board member.
Yeah, I am the evil. Like I am the evil force that has power now. Like I am. Yeah, it's like we're right back to Mr. McMahon again. We're right back to Mr. McMahon.
And like, all that work shoot stuff. There's a line to walk with it. As you mentioned, Cody had mentioned something about, basically got Rock and Roman on the same page. And also, can we talk about how the Rock made, like, he made Roman Reigns look like Roman Reigns was his employee, like he was his security or something like that.
Can I go line by line through all that, please?
Sure.
All right, so Cody comes out without, he's like, stop, don't get married, don't do that. All right. He's like, hey, like, I want to Rumble. It's my right to choose. It's going to be me. And then the Rock and Roman are like, bro, you ruined it. Get the fuck out of here. No one wants you here. Leave, white boy. So then Roman says, you're irrelevant. Your story was last year. Been there, done that. You lost. Move on. I'm on to bigger things. I'm now chasing Mount Olympus or whatever, stadium status, whatever you want to call it. And then, obviously, because Roman's a heel, he says, look, man, you're relevant. Like, you're relevant, and so is your family's relevant, and your dad's irrelevant. And then Cody responds, he says, look, if your dad was here, he actually says, what about Jay? You talk about this whole family thing, right? In this family tree, where's Jay? And then the crowd oohs. He goes, and then Cody goes, you want to talk about families? Okay. If your father was here, if his father, the Grand Chief, was here, they would be ashamed of you. And
he did a big dramatic voice.
And then Rock, and then the crowd, ooh, right? And then Roman made the face. And then Rock walked up and said, hold on. Something that you might understand is that his family is my family. His descendants are my descendants. His blood is my blood. Not really.
Cap.
So what problem you have with him, you have with me. And then he slapped the piss out of Cody. And then Cody fucking stepped off the mark and stepped back. And I was like, the slap is coming. You already made yourself look bad. Do not get rocked. Stand in the paint and eat it. He staggered. He took a staggered step back, and then Triple H and everyone else broke it up.
Rock thought he was a Noki.
And then from 20 feet away, Seth Rollins runs in, and he never gets the mic to say anything. But as everyone's breaking up and walking away and getting taken off, Cody's taken off, and Triple H is making faces and everything.
Hold on.
You can hear Seth off mic. This is bull crap. Literally bull crap. I was like, you ain't got no edge. You ain't got none to you.
Seth running in from 40 yards away, doing the 40-yard dash.
Meanwhile, I believe Triple H, but I know for a fact Rock was cussing up a storm, and they was muting the hell out of him because he was cussing.
Yeah.
But Seth, this is bull crap with that voice. Oh, no, man.
Awful, bro.
Nope.
Awful.
Nope.
Yeah, like, The Rock really made everybody look like obviously Seth Rollins looked awful by nobody caring he was there, him basically being a complete non-factor. Cody just looks dumb, and he gets slapped like a bitch, and then shuffled away. Roman, he's standing there with the suit on, or the tracksuit on, looking like a member of Team Bring It, Team Bring It. and hey man, you too close to the movie star, And then I was like, hold on. I thought y'all had smoke over who's the head of the table, but y'all ain't got no smoke no more. Y'all flipped on a dime like this, huh? Y'all flipped on a dime off of some perceived disrespect.
All right.
After 2-3 years of this shit, of you finally getting face to face with this man. This is awful, dumb.
Rich. Now, it's dumb because of what we saw on TV this past week and then what we got here. Because because the motivations have flipped, and the ways you could have flipped is two things, right? So I was getting back to it. You clearly know that they have not actually planned this all through. They just know that like they have to have a Rock match and they have to have a Cody match, and they haven't thought about all this, and then they changed course when they got to the press conference, and now they're going in a direction and they're moved on from where they were when he handed it off to Rock, right? When Cody handed it off to Rock. If you had gone back in time and they had figured this out, that this is the route we're going with, we could have made this all work storyline wise, not make Cody like a dumbass, and we could have made this all be interesting, and they could get on and do in a reasonable way that this tag match that they seem to be setting up. Which now I have to say, in retrospect, they were setting that tag team match all week, and then they fucked it up, and this is how they got to it, which like they've been retconning this all the way along. But they knew that they were going to try to do this tag match, but they didn't know how to get to it. They didn't figure it out until this press conference. So all they had to do was when they brought out Cody, or when Cody brought out Rock, all he had to say was, I taken counsel, all that kind of stuff. All he had to say was, I'm coming after, or all he say take away is I'm coming after you, but not at WrestleMania. All he has to say is, I'm still weighing my decision, but I have taken counsel. Rock comes out, and then Cody doesn't leave the fucking ring. All Cody has to do is do the high five at Rock, and then all three of them are staying in the ring and they go to black. That's all they have to do. And then everyone is like, well, what does that mean necessarily? That's kind of, are we getting both matches? Are we getting one match? All the same stuff, but Cody does not make it seem like we're for sure getting Rock in Roman. And then you do the same thing in the press conference. So then all of a sudden, Rock is under the impression, Cody has given me the okay because I showed up, I'm the Rock, I am who I am, and it seemed to be okay, but no one is not definitive. Cody comes out and then says, look, man, I didn't, just to give you clarification, I brought you out just to show that, like, neither one of us agree of how Roman Reigns handled this thing, but, and I've talked to you, that's why you came here, but I am still going to have the match. And then that's when they do the same thing. Rock blows up because his match is taken, and he insulted Roman. Roman clearly wants to know that he skated by and barely survived. Go ahead.
I was like, and the people are lighting him up. Like I think we've undersold that. Like he had this look on his face, like it was like this couldn't have been the original plan. This couldn't have been.
Yeah. So, but all they had to do is keep that stuff out. Cody comes out, same promo. Hey, man. Or not same promo, like, hey, just for clarification, me and Rock both disapprove of how you've handled this or whatever else, but like, I'm still keeping my match because I won the Rumble. Roman says, hey man, I want Rock because one, I barely survived you last year. I really don't want to fight you. I'm a heel, right? You had your story. I want to fight. I want a chance at something greater. I want to fight somebody that had the biggest match ever or whatever else. Rock gets pissed because that match is blown. And also, he is, at the end of it, Cody insults his granddad in his blood brother granddad, whatever the fuck. And then he slaps him, and then we're off to the races because you had the thing with Seth talking about the workhorses versus the part-timers. And you could have just went in with that, right?
Seth is burying himself every time he says this, too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Because, like, this company has not given a fuck about that for over a decade now, since Brock. Right, so yes, I get it, but it's like all the three characters you care about for the main event or main events of WrestleMania all would have had proper motivation for all this stuff to do all this stuff to get down this winding road. They fucked it when they had Cody go out there and leave the fucking ring. Where is he going?
There's a dog in the back. Like, did he take a shit or something? Do you have to clean the crap? Jesus. And apparently,
I guess he had to
on
get
Monday
back to
Night Raw,
Pharaoh was there, right?
Look, on Monday Night Raw, there was no acknowledgement of this whole SmackDown segment, like that he left the ring, that he gave his shit away. All of it's been KGB'd, Men in Black flashy thing. It never happened. Right. So if they are retconning all this shit, what's that mean, James? That means they fucked something up. They fucked it up. And people, if I hear people coming in these comments like, no, this is whatever, because this is going for the clip. Explain why they've changed it. Explain why they're no longer acknowledging.
No. Forget that part. I know you're right. Like, I'm going to add to your part. They're not acknowledging it. They're not acknowledging that, and also like. And a part of them not acknowledging is like, Cody's not explaining why he gave it to Rock to begin with.
Exactly. That's what he didn't explain.
Right. So so this goes in part of what you're saying, right?
It's like he didn't explain why. Right? He didn't explain why he gave it away, and he just took it back on a whim. So like, from a couple areas, I'm confused. I'm like, all right, do I believe what happened on SmackDown? Do I believe what happened at the press conference? Like, all these graphics are getting made. I'm like, just announce the fucking match. Like, whatever it is, just announce it. Right. And on SmackDown, Heyman went out with or the next day on SmackDown, because I watched SmackDown because I was like, this is a wreck and it's actually entertaining. So let me watch SmackDown. And SmackDown's actually a good show on Friday. So you give the rundown. Triple H comes out and says the match is officially Cody because I am the only one person chooses this shit, and it's me. And I was like, that's funny for multiple reasons. James. I forgot about this, James. A lot of this shit while it was happening, the thing it seems like that was being set up in the background was like, hold on,
a power struggle.
Are we about to see Rock versus Triple H? Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's a power struggle, and it's a power struggle.
That's the match.
Yeah. It's turned into a power struggle. Like, that's going to be another, like, subplot of all of this is, like, the history of Triple H versus The Rock. Now that they're both executives in WWE, they're now, fighting for power. And, like, obviously, you can't possibly care about, like, the wrestlers wrestling for the top prize in the industry. You have to care about the guys that did that all 25 fucking years ago, now fighting for the company.
It's like, and when we can like look at the fucking website and we can see who's on the board and who's not, we know who won. Like, exactly. This is dumb.
So
it says Dwayne Johnson on this fucking board. It does not say Paul Levesque on this fucking board.
Yep. And that's the thing for is like that for me is frustrating is like, if you want to do that, that's fine, but you don't need to do that in regards to Cody and Roman in it being one of the WrestleMania main events. It hurts the WrestleMania main event, or one of them by doing that. Like, if you want to get into
they
that,
already did everything last year to build it up. They got a match story.
Right.
They've got just a general investment of the fans.
Right.
They got a Royal Rumble win.
Right.
Oh, we got to throw this work shoot Vince Russo WCW 2000 shit in there too. We got to just add that in.
Yeah. And it's for me is like, if you want to go in that be like the major storyline leaving out of WrestleMania to set up the rest of the year, I'm fine with that. That's people will be into that. But you already have to match it. You already have the matches. This don't need that right now. Save that. Cause you're gonna need it later. I don't whatever. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, man, that's where I am on it. It was like, it was compelling. It was a mess. It don't make no damn sense. And now they just gonna move on as if like Cody didn't do this shit. And like that really hurt him. It really hurt him to people. It's like, I don't think if even Rocket came back or whatever else, I don't think like there would have been this division of like a non-insignificant amount of the crowd. Like when Cody came out, said like, yeah, man, I want the match. A good chunk of most of the crowd cheered because they really want Cody. But there was a part that was like, no, nigga, I want to see The Rock. It's The Rock. This wasn't needed. It just wasn't. So, like, the sooner they get to announcing,
I feel like they made everybody less
Roman
over.
wrestling 2 nights in a row, the better. And, like, Rich, are you ready for, like, when people talk about Roman's legacy after this, that he's gonna go out there and wrestle 2 matches in 2 nights, as if that's some fucking accomplishment, as if we don't see motherfuckers wrestle multiple times on the same show
G1
and have better matches, and both matches be better, bro. 2021
we don't see niggas
Shuri Grand Prix, and they gonna talk about this Roman shit. It's like, bro, okay, so
like it's the most legendary shit they ever seen.
A 4-star match and a 3-star match. Meanwhile, Shuri went out there and went 4 and 4.5, 4 3/4.
Look, those back-to-back days, them back-to-back days of G1 finals for Kenny Omega in 2017, Kota Ibushi in 2018, on hours of rest, going like breaking the scale.
Rich, 2 years ago, Will Ospreay beat Tetsuya Naito in one of the like 5 or 4 matches I gave 5 stars, and then the next night went out there and had the best match of the year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No. The cinema of bad storytelling and bad character and bad plot and bad motivations. That's gonna be what people remember. Man,
it's an unfair game.
Man, Cody better win. Cody better win.
If he don't win,
Cody better win.
If he don't win, we might have shut the show down. Like, just be like, all right, man. Like we may have to shut the show down and completely dedicate a week to just
Cody week,
lighting Cody on fire. Like, hey, there is no One Nation Radio. All we're doing is whooping Cody Rhodes' ass for 3 hours, like, and laughing. We will record a laugh track and put that out.
Now, Rich, you clipped up like basically the last year or so of Cody, of us covering Cody on his exit out of AEW.
Yeah.
I feel like since the Rumble has started, like we are built up a thing of like his exit out of WWE. On the top, we just don't know that he's leaving yet, because this is like, what the fuck is going on around this dude? Like, I regardless of what you may think by listening to hours of the show, I do not dislike Cody Rhodes. I just think he does dumb shit from time to time, or is these funny these bad situations. And like, while I don't dislike him, I absolutely think he's hilarious to laugh at. It's a blast to laugh at him. Is there anybody better in wrestling to laugh at than Cody Rhodes in the last 2 years, 3 years?
Seth Rollins. But, you know,
I think it's more eventful. Cody be setting himself on fire.
Yeah.
For the love. And we'd be like, bro, you ain't have to do that. What are you doing, Goofy?
He be thinking working that house show schedule, like, it counts for something. Like, he brought in like Lil Brody and thinking he was gonna win, and they pulled the chair on him at the last minute. Like, yo,
that man got his ass whooped by Brock, and then that man walked off with an ass whooping, and then he collapsed, and then they went to black on him up at the ramp. He's fucking hilarious. That man wore an all-white suit. Funny. That man wore an all-white suit to get misted out of nowhere by Malachi Black 2 years ago. This nigga's hilarious. Or 3 years ago. This nigga's hilarious.
It's funny.
He just is. The rubber chicken after he lost.
Things just happen to this guy.
Things just happen to this nigga. It's hilarious. It's always funny. I never feel bad when I laugh at that dude. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a bad person, but this shit funny. You must admit.
Yeah, it's amazing. Some of the passion that was ignited for him in this. He's, stepping back from this, and then he's coming back out, and it's like, how did he become someone like that people are this passionate over? It all kind of just, developed over the years.
He's a great baby face that dresses like he wants the job. They were starved for one. They didn't see the stuff that he was doing in AEW because they don't watch AEW. He's a great orator. and like they didn't let him, they kept him in the lane without crashing because he didn't go out there and cut, promos about his biracial daughter that shall have both dual identities, spare neither, and all that other nonsense.
They've never let Brandy Rose. They barely let her ever appear with him.
Right. They didn't let him hotshot through like a year's worth of storyline in 3 months. Like they did a lot. Him and Triple H and Vince and whoever else did a really good job of like, this is the dude, this is the Chase's story, and like the whole finish the story thing about like the unfinished business of my family, like that goes back to the NWA title with the Von Erichs, right? Like that works. It works. Like it's well done, and they're fucking it up while it's being they presented this. He came up to them with, this is what I got. Oh, and they're like, oh my God, it's perfect. How can we improve it? Now they've made these improvements, they fucked it up.
The nepotism is nepping in this program. Jesus Christ.
That was the best part. Like at the end of it, after the family tree, the fraudulent family tree gets shown for The Rock, he's like, this is a show that we are the one true royal family of professional wrestling. And I was like, that's hilarious for two reasons. It's one, he about to face a dude that his drop for his music is more than one family in professional wrestling. And two, this man is taking over Vince McMahon for the McMahons after the sex pest stuff has to go. So now there is no royal family in professional wrestling. The blood brother pack from 40 years or 60 years ago kind of is it. I thought it was great. So yeah, man, this is just The Rock, Cody, Roman, Seth, just there to tag along. Oh, also,
literally feet away.
You talked about it when they first did the Seth and Cody thing 2 years ago when he came into WrestleMania. It's like, all right, one guy has good suits, the other one has bad suits. I'll let you decide which is which. Now the suits is on one side, and they the everyday worker guys, and the dudes is out here in the tanks in the sweats or whatever else. Those are the part timers. Visually, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But then I looked at Cody and Seth's shoes.
I've always said Cody wearing a suit as a babyface is fucking weird. Like there's never been anyone that's done this. Ric Flair, but Ric Flair's a career heel.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. I'm just saying, like, the idea that you have on that stage, you got Seth and Cody, and they're both on one side, and like, I look at their shoes, and they both got terrible looking fucking shoes on. They look goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, but like neither here nor there. Like Cody wearing these suits, it look weird sometimes. But yeah, man, just really a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on with that, and like we'll see next week where it ends up.
There's a big element of this, of all these guys like doing sneaky shit in there to bury each other. Well, like on the low, like that's
I think it's actually more. I think they're being insider on purpose, though. I don't think they're like Triple H, right? After they did that fake backstage, peek at backstage shit where like The Rock and Triple H, fix it, whatever else, and then Rock comes out and he starts cutting the promos saying like, I'm the final say. Now I know people will be upset when I announce that it's Cody versus Roman, but like. It doesn't matter. But he goes like, it doesn't matter what you think. And I was like, and he was cutting like, he also did punchlines from Rock earlier besides his dad, also Roman as well. Like, they're all doing insidery shit. And I'm just like, the people that would like this left watching the promotion. And I don't know how much, the people that are still here care about this stuff. In fact, a lot of them that I've heard from years say that they hate that insider shit. So why are you doing it? Is this to try to like get people back because The Rock's back from AEW to watch? But motherfuckers that watch AEW go watch WrestleMania anyway.
I think it's just a dated philosophy like that. Probably comes from like Brian Gewirtz and people that he's installed, and they don't have to worry about. I'll say this lightly because maybe he is still involved somehow. They don't have to clear this stuff through Vince anymore. Like, so maybe they're reverting to their natural instincts. Like, why would The Rock do like a new type of like kayfabe storyline. Like, nah, man. Like, let's ham it up. Let's use the dirt sheets. How we'll use them. We'll put some misinformation somewhere. Like, there's a lot I think going on with this.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm out on this one, but as far as stuff to talk about, but like, yeah, man, we got a good hour off of just the Super Bowl and this whole press conference situation that they got themselves into. It's well
Bring
done
back
by
Vince
WWE,
Russo.
because we rarely talk about them on a week-to-week basis like this, and they got us talking about this shit.
AEW Big Business was a special announcement from Tony Khan this week, March 13th, Boston, Massachusetts.
That's not how Tony Khan says. He says Boston.
Yeah, Boston. I think everybody kind of knows what this means. But maybe it means more than we think, James. Because in conjunction, it looks like Mercedes Moné is on the way, because if you look at the graphic and the flyer, BOSS on there, and we know who the boss was at one point. Kazuchika Okada, it was reported that he's going to be signing with AEW.
Yeah.
Man. Seems like it's going to be some type of double debut. They're doing the, we ain't going to tell y'all, but y'all know what it is. And Boston's been a pretty good city for AEW every time they've gone there. That was like the home of that Moxley Wheeler Yuta match. But yeah, it looks like Mercedes is on the way in. What do you think about all this?
I mean, pretty much after the Rumble went and passed without Mercedes there.
Shout out to Dream Sooner.
And, a few, people saying that, reporting said that, like, people basically, like, they believe that WWE side believes that she's already signed to AEW. It's like, okay, so it's just a matter of time. Obviously, she had the injury from the summer or the spring, or late spring, which can't remember which one, but, like, she had to recover from that. And, as I mentioned before when we brought up Mercedes of late in the last couple months or so in regards to AEW, is like, I hope for Tony Khan's sake that he will secure her eventually, because he had her all over the, much like in the Taylor Swift position at Super Bowl. She was very much like being shown from time to time, partaking in watching the festivities and goings-ons of All In Wembley. So it's like, I will hope that, like, she don't show up at the Rumble and be like, you was out here being used for promo, you sucker. So yeah, man. Seeing how this division has made additions, and some additions via subtraction, or being changing some of the rotation minutes, if you will. I feel like this year has been like one of the most consistent year AEW Women's Division has been so far. Obviously, we're only 6 weeks in, but like the quality has stepped up. We have storylines, we have directions, we have matches that don't just flat out just lack in quality. We have matches that actually pop sometimes, and or more regularity actually. And yeah, man, like between that goes from even all of Con Pro Wrestling TV, like that includes ROH. ROH been on point because Athena's held it down, but like you see what Athena and Billy Starks and Nyla are doing. That's fun. You see what with the showcasing of Queen Aminata on television in matches where she's losing right now, but like she is getting people's attention by showing her skill. Seeing Serena Deeb come back, seeing Statlander and Willow as a tag team with Stokely, like the love triangle thing between Ruby and Saraya and Angela Parker, like Deanna and her coming in, awesome. Deanna and Toni Storm, and them building up towards the title match. This has been a well-ran women's division this year.
I gotta say, man. So I think people gotta update their software, like on their default AEW complaints, like especially when it comes to the women's division.
Yeah, like this is the most focused it's been. Like there's been other times where they've had runs where it's like, all right, they've had a good month, they've had a good or whatever else, or someone came back and is their run and they're killing in the run, you know, Sheeta's, the Rihos, the Serena Deebs, if you will, but Thunder Rosa. But like, this is the first time where it's like, okay, they got directions. They got directions for multiple things. And I'm interested in all of them, actually. So like, yeah, I think that like they have gotten they're getting their house in order for the acquisition or the whatever the money it costs for them to bring in Mercedes. And like, thank you, Mercedes. Thank you. I think everybody that has talked bad about the AEW Women's Division, and that includes us, I think we all need to be like, hey, you know, you see, it's one thing to hear words. We heard words for a number of years. Another thing to see action. And this shit has, the wagons have circled around this. And the only thing I can point to for the definitive change in all of this has been, we just dumped a boatload of money into Mercedes Moné's lap. And we gotta make sure we get a return on this investment. And if this is what it took, because they finally got a horsewoman, secured a horsewoman, thank you, Charlotte Flair, thank you, Bayley, thank you, Becky Lynch, thank you, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, because this is the shit that I wanted from year one of AEW, and we're here now. It took us 4 fucking years, but it seems like we're here now, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think Queen Emanata is actually going to be a huge star.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
with
Mercedes, like we're looking at, all right, I imagine there will be some Mercedes fans checking this out.
Yeah.
Check out our coverage of Mercedes and stuff, and then maybe they're not, familiar with, what's going on in AEW. I think you did a good job, James, running down everything kind of that's going on. The way Emanata is, like, I feel like something around her is special right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like something you could do is maybe align her and Mercedes at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Or use her as an early opponent. And then eventually, build like a long friendship or whatever, and then a split, essentially, like, because, Mercedes is, let's keep it a stack. Like, she's had injury problems and stuff like that. Like, she's had like different times where she was out of action. Is she going to hit the ground running for a full schedule? I don't know.
Yeah.
So like, while she's here, I'm thinking, all right, who are people that she can work with? But I would keep Emanata close to her to try to, rub off that, adulation a little bit, for her. And I just saw a lot of the Cope, and I don't mean Adam Copeland. I mean, I saw, like, I did some dunking, on some folks. I was pulling out old tweets on them. I think it's
I'm saving mine until she's on Turner. I'm saving those. I'm saving them.
But I saw, like, you just see the people, like, just whether just running with everything regarding her, like, she's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. They're paying arm and leg. No figures have been leaked. No, like, whatever has been, nothing has been there. It's just
same for
like,
Okada. It's interesting.
Same for Okada. Yeah. It's all the same.
Like, they got money gimmicks, so therefore, like, they must be getting paid, like, 8 digits a year.
Yeah. There's a lot of, we have people in NXT, we have all this stuff, and it's like, hold on, man. Since when is the World Wrestling Federation, the biggest promotion in the world, cheap? Since when are they the little engine that could that are just developing their own talent from scratch? Yeah. Since when?
Moneyball, Rich. They're playing Moneyball over there.
Stop the cap. This is Cope. This is seeing Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Moné, all not walk in the door.
Right. Also, I like the idea that, like, because some of these people, like, watch sports, like, they think that, like, somehow, like, there's a salary cap or something, or, like, so like, they're paying the premium price for big free agents, so
they're
that
not
means,
making
like,
any money.
So that must mean that, like, they're going to be holes on the roster to pay for impact players. And it's like, nah, that ain't how this works, because there's no salary cap here. There's only 2 promotions, man. There's only two major promotions in this country. Nah.
Yeah, man. It's I saw a lot of just shambolic, cope tweets. Just I guess we should move over to Okada. The story broke from SRS. Looks like he's heading to AEW. I originally thought he would be going to WWE, but then, the more I thought about it, more we kind of didn't hear. And actually, we need to talk about Kazuchika Okada and, his last match with Tanahashi. I watched it this weekend, and what they're doing with him on the way out. We'll get to that in a second, though. Okada coming in. It's almost like Kazuchika Okada never appeared on national television in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the roof blew off. It's almost, if that never happened with the roof blowing off, it's almost like he didn't main event Madison Square Garden, the Rogers Center. What other big building in America did he main event? But there's another one. They, when he came in the United Center, it was in the title match and stuff like that. It's almost like this never happened. It's almost like they recycled every line that they've ever said about this guy or Japanese wrestlers
about foreign wrestlers. Yes,
about foreign wrestlers, and it was a joy to see.
It wasn't enjoyable for me because I hate seeing this dumb shit. It annoys me to no end that Okada's not. The people say this stuff about Okada is like he main evented Madison Square Garden at 85% capacity. I would have to look it up, but I don't think Roman Reigns has ever done that. No disrespect, just saying, this dude ain't no fucking nobody, right? I think people just greatly underestimate, and I don't know how many times they do fucking Forbidden Door for them to fucking get it through their brains, but AEW exists because New Japan carried a ton of American fandom for professional wrestling and passion for professional wrestling, while a section of fandom that either was disenchanted with WWE or was done with pro wrestling post WCW or whatever else. And because of the internet, people saw this stuff. They came to AEW or came to New Japan shows, and the promotion got started off the backs of a bunch of ex-Bullet Clubbers and a guy that semi-main evented a Wrestle Kingdom that was a WWE legend. That is the origin story of AEW. So every time,
no matter what people want to rewrite or whatever, right, or come out here and lie about, we know we were all there, at least on this show,
right?
We were charting it from the inception, from the reports.
Yep. So
this guy Okada's a part of that,
right? The Okada Omega series even though Okada hasn't been here for this, is a lot of people's entry points into Kenny Omega, who has been at points one of the 3 or 4 biggest stars in AEW ever. Or not at different points, is one of the 3 or 4 biggest stars in AEW ever. People got their introductions watching 2 of the greatest matches, or 2, in my opinion, the 2 greatest matches of all time, plus other stuff, right? That is your opinion on how you rank it. My mileage varies on that. So, for me, I'm just when people say this, is you are talking from the casual fan's perspective, to which I say, in which most people that watch AEW say, we don't give a flying fuck about casual fans. We never have. We never will.
We don't want to do it that way.
The promotion turned a corner critically over the last few months, based off of going back to its roots of we are giving our most passionate fans and people that buy tickets, that fly the asses out on the weekends to our shows to come see our pay-per-views. Sorry, MJF. Sorry, CM Punk. Sorry, Cody. You lost. It's over.
Yeah, it's
Is there anything else I need to say about this?
You know,
Also, John Moxley shows up fresh off of doing what? A fucking G1 run!
QT Marshall, you know, is becoming too New Japan-y, you know, for him in here.
Got all Japanesey. Yeah.
You know, it's too Japanese. Yeah, man. Like, you know, I just got to say, like, the roster is fucking filthy. Filthy.
Rich.
This is the greatest roster in pro wrestling history.
It's up there.
If you lay it down on paper, think of all the cross matches, and I guarantee you will still leave out dozens of them that can be made.
Today, I thought about Okada, in 2024, an Okada versus Hangman match. I thought about it. And then as you just mentioned, this part about cross matches you don't even think about. You know, I tend to do this. I just thought about like, oh yeah, we could get Okada versus Ray Phoenix.
Yeah. Why not?
like forget the obvious match that you want to that everyone wants to see Ray Phoenix have. What the new edition like? You want to see like what the fuck like Phoenix and Ospreay can do? Like Okada and Phoenix would be fucking awesome. Like I still remember the Hiromu and Okada match in the New Japan Cup in front of nobody that was fucking awesome. Like, imagine a crazy... Imagine a Chicago Dynamite. No, let's do this. Thanksgiving Thursday, or Thanksgiving Wednesday Dynamite. Thanksgiving Eve. Kazuchika Okada versus Ray Phoenix. Run that.
Eddie Kingston versus Kazuchika Okada.
And they're friends because they both hate Jay White.
Man. Just like... All this stuff just brings a smile to my face. It is just like... Just the possibilities are endless. Like, you know, and this is like what I want to watch. Like, it's like, yo, I don't care about Kazuchika Okada leaving New Japan. Like,
I do.
I'm sorry.
I do, but that is not. But that's not where he's going. I do, but that does not change my. That does not like make me think. That does not make me be like, well, that means that like he can't do awesome stuff over here as well. It's a both thing. Like, I'm bummed he's going to leave because I think they destabilized New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm also acknowledging, like, yeah, there's a lot of fresh matchups that he otherwise, with experienced main event talent that he could face that he otherwise would have to be doing a lot of, like, teaching stuff with the younger guys in New Japan.
So you lay it out on paper. It's like that old Bret Hart. Like, we'll give you this list and we'll give you this list. Yeah. You tell me which one would be more exciting for you. Like, it is crazy. Like, just like, you know, what if we turn on a random week and it's like, yeah, you know, Kazuchika Okada's in action tonight, and then the music hits, and then it's whose house? Top rope, catch a 5. Like, yo, like, we're not seeing that.
To be fair, I don't think a match like that, same thing with
it wouldn't be random. I don't think it's going to be a random
Dynamite match, but I get your point nonetheless.
You know, him versus Takeshita. Bro, a lot of people want to see that. And
I mean, who wouldn't want to see that?
I think, yeah, bro, the C2 this year,
like
if they do it the real way, man.
Look, the first time I ever saw Takeshita was 2020, and after that I was like, oh, I want to see him versus Okada. And like, that was a match with Yuki Ueno in there and also Kaito Kiyomiya. I got my Kaito Kiyomiya and Okada match. It was fucking awesome. I know some people have quips about how bad he beat his ass. The match is still great. Like, I want to see the Takeshita and Okada match.
Bro, like, there's just so many guys I want to see him against. I don't even know where to begin. Like, and then it's like, you know, Ospreay, like, what's he gonna do? Like, I don't, you know, when does Kenny come back? Like, I'm sorry, like, you know, especially with what's happening with Kazuchika Okada as far as it relates to New Japan now, man.
Rich.
Who knew that Kenny Omega getting pulled off of New Year's Dash would be a better send-off than Kazuchika Okada's getting right now? They're putting him in 10-man tag matches in the second match to send him off.
I don't know why he didn't just say I'm done after
Matt Riddle.
I don't know why he didn't just say I'm done after this weekend. Like maybe he wanted. Maybe he was like intent on finishing the tour because it's still that's going to be New Japan Sapporo, which is like those Sapporo match shows are always the weakest ones, right? Because it's normally Nagoya or Osaka, and then you get to the Sapporo ones because those are the islands up north.
Seamus Nova says Tama Tonga will get a better send off than Okada, I promise you, and it's looking like that's going to happen. I watched the last Okada and Tanahashi match over the weekend, and man, it was just I'm going to get real dark for a second here, but bear with me. It's one more reminder of like how much things are changing, times are changing, and like, you just look around and things aren't the same anymore. And it was like, wow, we saw the great video package ahead of time. They show Okada in the ill-fitting clothes, show him win the belt, show him crying in the dome, like basically saying, you're not IWGP level. You show him finally surpassing Tanahashi. You show Tanahashi coming back in 2018 with that one title challenge, and then the G1, and Tanahashi wins, and then like shows them like becoming friends, and then teaming together, and then their one-off match they had last year, and then it was on to this one, and it was like Hiroshi Tanahashi comes out to high energy, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, they don't have the fucking music right, so like it's fucked up when I watch it, and I'm pissed, and I'm like, why could we not?
It wasn't the copyright
high
thing?
Energy. Yes.
Okay.
I was like, why could we not secure high energy? What did it need to cost? Is the yen that down? I'll let that hang there. I saw Okada and Tanahashi go in the ring, and it was almost like the final lesson, and it was like they are not, even Okada, both of these guys are not the wrestlers they were at their apexes, obviously in Tanahashi's case or whatever. But Tanahashi, like, this is why he's so great still. He cocked back and he was doing high fly flows to the outside of the ring and shit. Like, he was like putting it on a line in a way where it's like, yo, this is the great rivalry that this promotion has had, that rebuilt this company, that made so many people fans, that made a star, that in their roles now, Tanahashi is president of the company. It's like his final kind of, lesson to his student or whatever is like, the whole time I sent a tweet thread out about it. I was all mushy and sappy and shit. It was like, I kept thinking the whole thing was like, hey man, be your best today. Like, this isn't necessarily about the rest of our rivalry, even though, they were taking some sequences and stuff like that. It wasn't about how good they once were. This is about who they are right now, like I thought. And I was rooting for Tanahashi to win. The crowd was firmly too. And when Okada would kind of do like little certain things, they would boo. And it was not like a fuck you kind of boo. It was like more like, yo, let's keep this pure, essentially. Like, let's enjoy it one last time. And I've watched a lot of Okada Tanahashi matches over the years. Long ones, the ones that were in Dallas, and it was like it was like these, long after it was a drawing match in Japan. Man, it didn't sound like it. Like it sounded as over as anything I've ever watched. Like, it was loud. They were clapping. They were into the match. They loved it. I loved it. Okada won definitively, beating them, even though, that series been over.
Was it one Rainmaker still like it had been for last few years?
One Rainmaker. Yep.
Okay.
Everything I saw in it was just like, I think he should never wrestle in New Japan Pro Wrestling again. Like, I think he should no-show the last 2 days, and I'm not even like trolling or playing or whatever. He's a freelancer now, right? Like, this is how you're going to disrespect this man and put him second from the top in a match with fucking Matt Riddle in it? Go to hell. Like, this is how you're going to treat the greatest champion of your company's history? maybe it's a case where they are upset with him and, you know, it was sudden or whatever, but I'm like, have some class. Like, you know, and I know he's leaving you. I know he's not necessarily, he didn't put anybody over, you know, on the way out, right? But he lost to Tetsuya Naito in the G1 finals.
Yep.
You know, he went out there and gave you his best for years and years and years, and this is how you're going to send him off, right? And I find that really disheartening. Like, and that kind of stinks. And I know some people are probably happy with it. They were happy to see him go.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I mean,
and wanted him to wrap it up for quite a while and stuff like that. No, I'm saying I'm glad. That's why I'm like, bring him to AEW now. Like we'll take him. We'll show him the love, you know, like on this side. And it's like, it's unfathomable to me that they're treating Okada like this on the way out. Second from the top. Not building an event around him. We saw the Nakamura farewell. They were all crying. It was a main event, Cork and Hall. It was like this 3-on-3 emotional match. Everyone directly related to him. Okada fucking know Matt Riddle.
Yep.
What is this? And it's like United Empire
Rich,
guys, TJP, blah, blah, blah.
Rich,
it's like
Kushida, when he left, he got a Tanahashi match at Cork and Hall.
Like, this is awful, bro. Like, and I don't think people are going to complain about this, so I'm going to complain about it. Like, this is bullshit. Like, nah. Like, what happened to him is worse than what happened to the Elite. The Elite just did jobs in the Dome on the way out. At least it was the Dome.
Right. I see what you mean. I don't know who's calling the shots, who gave the dates, whatever, who gave the exit of I need to be out by X, Y, and Z. I don't know. But you would think that, like, even if it is ending in Sapporo, like, can we have something that's more appropriate? You know? Like, honestly, the send-off should have been this match this weekend. That's what it should have been.
Yep.
I don't know why he wants to do these 2 extra dates other than the part where it's like, I want to finish the New Beginning tour. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't know, man. It's weird. But, you know, I made sure that, like, when they said, like, hey, we are wrapping up, you know, Pro Wrestling Tees in New Japan token shop, that, like, we were getting rid of the prints for the the Okada stuff. I made sure, like, I've always wanted this shirt. I just never got around to getting it. And I was like, it's going to cease to exist unless I go to Josh Smith route and get a boot. I ain't going on like that. So I ended up getting 2 Okada shirts. So they came in today. So I had to put the order on because I knew we were going to talk about it. So yeah, man. It's you know, because he was a standard, because, you know, he was the ace. Like, a good champion is somebody that in Japanese wrestling, like, there aren't super strong villainous characters most of the time. A lot of it is you just want to see someone that is worthy enough in the eyes of the fans get their shot at the title. Kind of had to be standing to be the heel, and you know, we got a lot of, you know. It wasn't like he got booed, but it was always a lot of the crowd cheering for someone except for him while he's having, you know, matches of the decade, matches of the year, matches of the month. And this how it ends. And it's like, all right, that's how you want to end it. All right. I think he's coming back eventually. I don't know when, but I think, you know, years from now he'll come back. I think he'll have feuds with the guys that they want to have feuds with now, but they'll be older. They'll actually be main eventers. And he'll do good business again. And I think New Japan and Bushiroad and everybody else involved with this will look back and be like, why the fuck did we do this whole thing with these nothing out the door tag matches? I think they'll regret it.
Well, maybe one day Kazuchika Okada will work with the young guys at Forbidden Door.
That's funny. That is funny.
News that broke shortly before we went on air. I figured this would be a good place to pop it in. Rocky Romero is now apparently working for AEW in the office.
Huh.
So, don't really have much more information than that. Meltzer threw it in as part of the daily update. So he's working.
Has he switched jobs, or does he have two jobs?
I believe he has multiple jobs.
Okay.
But yeah. So with that happening, there are a couple thoughts that spring to my mind. One, this man, Rocky Romero, is putting a check with a check with a check.
Yep. MJG would be very proud of him.
Yep. He is, in my mind, I'm like, is he being brought in with Okada? Like, is like this, is he going to be his mouthpiece or something like that?
Well, Rich, for 2 years now, Rocky Romero and Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander and Chucky T and Tomohiro Ishii and Trent have all been, what were they call them? They were calling them Chaos West. What was the shit they was calling them?
Something like that.
Or United States chapter of Chaos. So it's like, this has kind of been around in kayfabe for 2 years now and everything. And if it works out that way, man, I gotta say I feel happy for I feel happy for Rocky Romero the way he has finessed the game. He has made the game work for him.
Bro, this man is like just maneuvering throughout the pro wrestling business, like with CMLL,
right?
On all that.
He was working Volador, months ago. That program Volador was that last? I think months ago. Last year.
It was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah.
Look, might have been the liaison for all this. Remember CMLL?
The real invisible hand.
They were not, through New Japan, all that kind of stuff. They were not happy with the AAA work and all the stuff for New Japan and everything as usual. And he goes down there. Obviously, they have the connection with Fantastica Mania every year and everything. But yeah, if that is big because of the connections. Like his name is gold everywhere, seemingly.
There is another aspect of this that I think David Bixenspan has started raising the questions. Like, this guy's a well-liked guy within wrestling, but he's never quite ever had to put his name on some of the things that he's been, tied to. So there was that one time he tried to sneak Marty Scurll in the back door at New Japan Strong. At one time, a lot of the problematic folks come through the doors of New Japan. Somebody's going to start waking that shit up regarding him, because we know
he's the one that's doing the hiring for that. Right. I can see that. I can see that.
When he goes to AEW, there's a whole new spotlight on him.
Right. Yeah.
That he's never had to answer for before. So I'd be interested to see if that talk starts, the level start increasing on that, because that's some fresh red meat for the Deaf to AEW crowd.
Right. I mean, you sign with All Elite. That's what comes with the territory, unfortunately, right? We were talking about Deonna Purrazzo and the people talking about doing the body shame shit with her a few weeks ago, while she was signed to NXT on the main roster for shots, looking the same way she looks then that she does now, just 4 years later. And she's here, and, we talked about that. Unfortunately, you sign on to AEW, you sign up for this level of unfair scrutiny. Or not, you don't sign up, but, that's what you get. And it sinks. So, yeah, man, in the case of this Rocky thing, I hope Tony Khan already knows, some of that stuff, because Rocky knows everybody. Rocky brought in a lot of gaijin to New Japan.
Yeah. And then like the other part is like, well, is somebody else from New Japan coming through the door?
Riddle.
What's going on here?
Riddle should be untouchable.
Yeah, you would think. I feel like, man, is Matt Riddle going to be on Forbidden Door and all that? That's gonna be nasty.
And then like they give us the match that like we wanted like 5 years ago, but like we don't want now. Look, 2018-19, Rich Lotta and James Boyd really wanted to see Matt Riddle versus Kenny Omega. Don't want to see that shit now. No, thank you.
That no, was thank you. Like my number one dream match at one point.
See?
Yeah.
See how people fuck it up for you? See? See what happens when you bring your faith in humanity? How humanity said, nah, actually, motherfucker's evil.
Yeah.
Or doing evil.
Like, it's just eventually, I think Rocky's going to have to talk about this at some point. So hopefully he's got, I'm sure he'll have something to say about it. But yeah, these are the moves you made. These are your mans.
Wow. Yeah.
But moving forward, AEW Dynamite this week, brother, flat out one of the greatest AEW Dynamites of all time. And I had a couple talks with some people in the company. This is an exclusive for you guys. Right up at the top, they consider that as well, down to the number of what number Dynamite this was. And I'm here to tell you is top 3 and not 3. So, but so they kind of have an idea of the level that they're aspiring to be right now. They were in Phoenix, Arizona, a great crowd. And this, I remember, there was a Hangman Wheeler Yuta match beginning of 2023 when they were in Phoenix. So their second time out there. This whole thing opened up with Swerve taking on Hangman Page, and this went to a 30-minute draw, and this was sensational. I never really bought much of the double turn talk between these guys. Like, as far as like, a lot of people, I always said that'd be news to me. I feel like I would spot such things because the crowd is cheering for Swerve more. Yep. Hangman is getting more.
There are still obviously Hangman supporters and also people that remember the storyline.
Right. But the way the winds are blowing seems to have, seeped into this match, and maybe they're somewhere else now with it.
Yeah.
And I thought this was such a deep match. Like, as far as like the things that were happening, I really went crazy for Hangman thinking Prince Nana was cheating, but he wasn't.
Oh my God, because I love that.
This was set up with Swerve's promo on Collision,
right,
where he was telling Prince Nana, don't interfere or whatever, because I want to beat this guy, blah, blah.
Yep. I didn't see that. I didn't know or see that until this weekend. So I'm watching it and I'm just seeing the spot and I'm like, you know what it made me think of? Do you remember? All right. What's your favorite Roman Reigns feud in WWE? Don't do this. 2016.
Roman Reigns and AJ Styles?
Yep.
Okay.
And how did that start? Like, Roman's a babyface, AJ's a babyface, post WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden, Gallows and Anderson show up and start attacking Roman. And Roman's like, this motherfucker, those are his friends, this bullshit. And then the Usos start showing up, interfering on AJ's side. Roman has nothing to do with the Usos stepping in, and they just like, this motherfucker screwing me over. And it's just like that miscommunication of these are actually two good guys, and then their friends / family are causing the tension, and that's what leads to all of this. Like the whole thing of like Nana has interfered in the first 2 matches. The third match happens. He's just sitting there. He's not involved. Earlier in the match, Swerve actually got a hand on the rope on a pinfall. This time he gets a foot on the rope on a near fall. And given what happened in the first match, he's like, oh, this motherfucker clearly put his foot up and did the fucking dance. I'm going to fucking kill him again. And
bro, he fucking destroys Prince Nana with a chair on the outside of the ring.
Yes. And I'm not sure, given the match, like where it was in the match, but before
Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, that's my favorite Roman Reigns feud.
It's amongst that.
I'm glad Dr. Leary brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I feel like that is the biggest cap in the feather for Roman's like wrestling acumen, that he was able to carry Braun Strowman to good ass matches. It made him a star by putting him over by getting his ass beat a million times. So yeah, I can't remember the in the match at what point, but like there's a tease of a 10 count that Swerve beats, in which Nana does the inspirational Nana dance, and I'm like, God damn it! They have turned the Nana dance into the fucking Undertaker Paul Bearer urn.
Yes, wake up!
Like, yeah, yes, yeah, oh yes. I couldn't believe that shit. I'm losing my mind. And then that happens, as you mentioned. I'm pretty sure that happened first, and then you get the Nana thing, and then Paige, he loses fucking mind. He's like, this fucking guy keeps interfering in these matches with this guy that is very fucking good, but he can't beat me without that fucking guy helping me. He helped him again. I've had enough. Gets a chair, lights his ass up, crowd boo. And before the match even started, I had texted you. All right, right as the match, the bell rang. I'm listening to the crowd, and I'm like, I'm sending messages to Rich like, hey bro, are they doing a double turn? And I don't remember what you said, but I was like, the way the energy of this thing's going, and then you see that in the match later, I was like, this is setting the grounds for one if they decide to do one. And I was like, hey man, a lot of people talk about Bret Hart or whatever else, and a Bret Hart merchants. Some people just do it. And Hangman Page, that is the way to do the Bret Hart stuff. That is the way to do it. Like, the thing about Bret Hart was he was justified turning heel, but he was so whiny, and you had the ascension of a heel that people liked a lot. And then you had the grounds for it. All you gotta do is just complain, and actually have a valid reason to be doing complain, but people don't want to hear you bitch all the goddamn time anymore. We're here now with Hangman. If they want to continue with this, I think, and also, you get to the draw at the end, he takes a coward way out, you have the heel, the person that did the whole induction say, I want 5 more minutes, because he wants to prove for once and all, I can actually beat this fucking guy by myself. And Paige takes the easy way out and says, nope, you can't beat me. And then, because he's a heel, he's basically in a heel mode now, says, you lost, so you are not no more contender. The ranking started with Swerve as a Hangman contender. You get a draw. What do you think is me? Who do you think is number 1 contender? Yeah. I get a draw, Hangman. This man has lost his mind. Nana has broken this man. This is awesome.
So they basically, like, Swerve, as you mentioned, asked for 5 more minutes. And basically, these guys haven't beaten each other, like, still. So, Shivani stood up, said he got word that there's going to be 2 number 1 contenders. It's going to be a 3-way at Revolution for the AEW World title. Swerve was happy about this. Paige was furious. I mean, Paige should be lucky that he's still even here, like, I guess, because he is number 2 in the rankings.
But then you could be like, well, he proved that he should be he's got the tie with number 1 contender, therefore they're both number 1 contenders. Like, he's 1A and 1B. He's 1B to Swerve's 1A.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, if you want to be 1A, you should have got your ass to the Continental Classic.
Stupid.
You know, but you and your friends didn't want to show up for work. And now, look, the Elite showed up to work, and look where we at now. We in greatness now. See, we should have came up with that Elite signal years ago.
But yeah, this was awesome. This sets up the 3-way match. I think this match is going to be awesome. Like Heyman and Swerve have basically, kind of like the Chris Jericho Shawn Michaels feud. It became so big that all of a sudden they need to inject the world title into it. That's what this is. Like, it's become the hottest story in the company, aside from, the what we'll talk about for the main event angle.
I think even still, this is the hottest.
Yeah, like this has gripped the promotion for months. People can't stop talking about Heyman and Swerve in different forums I'm in, a lot of different kinds of fans or whatever. So some people just so impressed by the matches. So some people so gripped by the story, like be like, yo, I ride with Heyman. He actually got his house broken in. Like, this is bullshit. Like, there's people riding for him too. Swerve obviously like on fire, like as far as like seeing like that where he came.
Was so good on was that Rampage or was that?
It was on Collision.
That promo was so good. Like he has set the grounds for a babyface turn.
It's right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like they both like this is the shit I be talking about when you don't need there's no explanation for why you did this or the third over. Like redemption, acknowledgement or redemption works for all of this stuff. I don't know why why wrestlers are so scared to just do this much.
Yeah. And I was saying, like, where Swerve, like, has come from is, like, just slowly getting more over. He's naturally winning people over into his side. So by the time they get Samoa Joe in there, for the belt, like, I'm expecting an incredible match. Like, and...
Sorry, Joe. I don't know who's leaving as AEW World Champion.
It's time to come off it, Joe. I'm sorry. People going to be upset. It's a short reign, blah, blah, blah. He's been great. This ain't for you.
Rich, Danielson is about to leave after basically becoming the best wrestler in the world again without ever winning a single title in AEW, or unless he wins the Triple Crown shit. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck if Samoa Joe is a champion for only 3 months. You make an argument. I'll make the argument. He should never been a fucking champion again. When Daniels can't be champion, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, this is it's
not to say he's not doing a good job, because he is doing a good job, but you get my point.
It's so competitive that, like, just looking around is like, I don't feel like I can justify Samoa Joe, like, for 9 months with this roster, especially, like, with what Swerve and Hangman have going on. Like, Swerve or Hangman is your next champion. So, like that's where it's going. Like, and I think that, the story necessitates that. And I think that, the further we go into it, almost the more interesting it can be, because not only do Swerve and Heyman have great chemistry in the ring, like they have great like matches against each other, like they physically match up, like it's just like a perfect rivalry essentially. Like, and it's not like this, it's like Swerve is like put his own roots in the promotion as well, and like it's like this natural clash, I think, that is gonna force people to pick a side, which is pretty cool, but it's not necessarily toxic or anything. Like, this is a storyline based thing, like, and it's cool. Like, it's like no like fuck shit involved with it.
It's been able to like blossom on its own without, like, not to say that this is the worst thing in the world, but like Jericho getting involved, or MJF getting involved, or the Elite getting involved, or BCC getting involved, right? Like this is like the thing that I'm just like, I was always saying, like the Heyman thing, like, can he get something off the ground on his own without his homeboys, carrying him? And this is it. And like, I mean, it's already one of the greatest like rivalries in AEW history, but like, quite frankly, personally, me as a pro wrestling fan, it's probably my favorite rivalry in pro wrestling since Tam and Julia. It probably is. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, these characters work together. And you see them changing because of each other, and you see them leveling up because of each other. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. Like, they struck lightning in a bottle with this. I don't know if this was the intent. It probably wasn't. Oh well, we're here now. It's been better than we ever could have expected.
Yeah, man. And Revolutions is gonna be a movie. Like,
and also, you know, I want to say, like, hats off to the people in charge now that are getting the booking together and everything. Like, I thought at first when they booked so many matches ahead of time, I was like, well, how are they gonna do television when they already have so many things set in stone? They had so many things set in stone, where it's like, we have things set in stone, we have people doing other things to get there, we continue on the long path of this stuff, we can tell this winding road with Samoa Joe playing the champion, the rankings coming back help this all. Like, I think they now need to, like, basically set all their fucking pay-per-view matches up, where they have like 4 matches like 2 months before the pay-per-view's out now at this point. Like, obviously, I think it'll be hard to do when you do the, you know, all in, all out a week apart. But, like, when you get Full Gear by itself, when you get Double or Nothing by itself, like, we need to have that shit 6 to 8 weeks ahead, just like this. Because, like, this has been, I feel like this is like the best the booking has been since, like, I don't know, over a year.
2021.
Like going into Revolution 2021? I can agree with that.
I probably say going into Revolution 2022, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Because that's when they had the MJF and Punk stuff going on with Wardlow. Yeah, and, you know, they were doing the Danielson and Moxie thing. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, in almost 2 years is the best the booking's been.
Yeah.
And it coincides with MJF being gone. It's interesting. Maybe we were too hard on CM Punk.
No.
CM Punk was taking all that man's bullshit ideas. Like, nope. Take the pickles off this. Take the onions off this. Nope. We're not doing this. You want steak sauce on this burger? Get the fuck out of here. We're not doing that. CM Punk was probably like, this kid, it's too much ambition. Anyway, let's move on.
We had Toni Storm taking on Red Velvet, Deonna Purrazzo on commentary. I don't really remember much about this match, but
this was the best Toni Storm match, the best timeless Toni Storm match. I think she's finally figuring out how to do this without being too much character, too sticky, and, like, actually, like, within her character, be able to tell stories that are actually entertaining as an actual wrestling match, as opposed to being a bit of a comedy sketch. And I thought Deonna was good on commentary. Yeah.
I'm enjoying how Deonna Purrazzo has been presented coming into the company. It's like, I guess it works so much because Tony's such a clown, kind of, where it's like, we have no choice but to take Deonna Purrazzo seriously. So, like,
yeah, she wasn't talking about getting beads that went around her neck this week. Deonna, no, she's not doing that.
Yeah, Tony kissed her on the cheek, and then Luther stepped in, and blah blah blah.
Well, did the Jonathan Majors, break him up?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
So we got Renee was backstage with Orange Cassidy, Trent, AEW's Rocky Romero, and they were asking Cassidy about wrestling Tomohiro Ishii on Collision after having a 6-man on Rampage. He said it'll be fine. Renee asked him how Chuck's doing, with Cassidy saying Chuck T's there tonight. He's getting checked on by doctors. So tunnel talk, have no fear. Renee requested they bring it all in for a handshake, and everyone obliged and left the shot. I believe Renee was rocking all jean gear What's up?
You catch what Trent said?
No.
Trent was like, "You're wrestling Ishii?" Just like, you're like, he's about to fuck you up. It was great. It was so understated, but it was like that the way he said it and the look he made, it was like, bro, you want to do this? That's not a good idea.
Up next, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli making their trios debut, taking on Mascara Dorada, Volador Jr., and Hechicero.
Let's get it.
This fucking ruled.
This was a blast.
Oh my God, this was amazing. Like, crowd insane. They're in Phoenix, Arizona. Man, they gave the Luchadors the babyface corner, and it was like, yeah, they are the baby faces out here. Like, bro, I love this. Just all the pair-offs. They got Moxley facing off with Volador. They've got Danielson and Hechicero. They've got Mascara Dorada.
Left off, just putting Danielson in the fucking blender.
In hell. Yeah. Dorada and Claudio bouncing off each other. And this is like, there was a lot of cool flying on this. There was like brawling. There was like just sectioning off, like guys getting paired off. And it was just like, oh, this is awesome. And then Castagnoli showing his hoishness as he kicked my man, I think it was Mascara Dorada. He kicked him in the nuts.
Nuts before he ended up for a while before that happened though.
Yeah. Like they want to be dishonorable, my brothers from CMLL want to have a fair fight, 3-on-3, mano y mano, and they want to take the easy way out, like Robert Tepper.
Look, he kicked him in the nuts like so like
all in one motion.
Just punted him. Just like, because we didn't want him to pop up dick kick too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Playing foul.
Yep. And it was like, man did a foul and, he got the pin. They were not happy about this, obviously. And from there, Mystico, who was ringside, Star Jr., and Esfinge came in. The BC was outnumbered, but then Matt Sydal, Daniels, Menard, Parker, they ran out. All 12 guys were staring at each other. I was like, man, this is too many Mexican dudes fighting too many white dudes. I think I got to go with the Mexican guys on this. This ain't just a tag team match. This ain't just a 2-on-2. Like, nah, man, I think I'm rolling with CMLL on this one. But this was awesome. Molten crowd for this.
Yeah, it was just fantastic as usual. Or not as usual, but like as you expected. Like Volador was in there, old ass still spry. Did the rope spot. Yeah, man, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Then there was a promo that came out. All the guys from CMLL were talking that shit. Essentially, in Spanish, so I didn't know what they was talking about, but there was something that slipped through. It was like they invited the BCC to their stomping grounds, Arena Mexico. So whenever that happens, I will be finding a way to see CMLL, even though like CMLL is like the hardest thing to watch and find. I will find it. I will locate it somehow, some way. Backstage, Chuck Taylor was getting laid out by the Undisputed Kingdom. Cole said, "Get well soon, Chuck." After that, we got the big announcement. As we mentioned, AEW Big Business. Tony Khan pumped it up as saying it's one of the biggest nights in pro wrestling history. Shit's going to change forever. All that shit. Mm-hmm. Then we got Konosuke Takeshita taking on Chris Jericho. Jericho looked kind of rough in this thing, but I still thought this was a good match. I thought Takeshita was like I thought he should have just won clean rather than Jericho having to get stabbed or anything like that. But the crowd was real into this one as well. Jericho took a rough bump.
Rough bumps. He's out here getting his ass kicked. And I don't mean like in the story. I mean like he was taking some rough bumps and like the one against the rope, his back of his head snaps off the ropes. Yeah, that was it a superplex or was it a suplex where his head bounces off the mat? Yeah, it was rough for Jericho at times in that match.
Yeah. So like I think Jericho needs to take a break. I think, and I say this like knowing the strength of Jericho has been knowing when to take the foot off the gas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was me, I would take Jericho. I would say, hey, go on vacation for, let's see, you can come back at the build up for All In, whatever. You can come back, but take some time off. Let people miss you. You're overexposed, and you're like, your directions are kind of not like. I think there's too much regarding like he's out of shape for one, and I don't say that in a way to disparage him. It just seems like he's not at his peak right now of what he could be, because we know he can get in the gym and we know he can show up and do his thing, but he's taking these brutal looking bumps in this match and he's like getting like thrown around, and it's like, I think, guys are reluctant to come off TV, obviously, because then it's like, damn, like all these new people are going to come into promotion. What if they forget about me and stuff like that? But I think Jericho, like, he can talk himself out of any situation. He just has to have a situation that is, I would say, creatively stimulating. And this thing with the Callis family is like, it's not like Jericho's like a secondary target of this thing. The target was always Kenny Omega. Kenny's not there, so he had to kind of inherit this stuff. Yeah. So,
and also like we just got to keep it a stack. Like Callis is like the only thing that Callis is doing is keeping himself over. He's not getting over the guys he's managing. Not to say he's not doing good work. You're just like the purpose, and it's kind of the same thing that happened with like Jake at times with Archer. It's like that's what you're saying and doing isn't bad, but it's kind of misguided.
This should have been like a huge win for Takeshita, and I think in some respects it was. Jericho tapped out to his own move, so like, I see something like that and I'm like, yo, you got to go home.
Right.
Like, just from a kayfabe standpoint, right? But like, you add in everything else that's swirling around Jericho with whatever, what I think would be beneficial for him as an athlete would be rest. And then like also from a make him miss you for a little bit standpoint, I think we should wave goodbye to Jericho for at least a few months. But this did go over pretty big in Japan, though, according to the comments. And I've seen some stuff like that, like Jericho tapping out to Takeshita. So,
okay.
But this guy Takeshita, bro, he hit the top 5 in the ranks this week. This is another guy that I would love to see him near the title as well, working, amongst the very top of the card. Like, he's fucking sensational. Like,
he is. Him versus Swerve is gonna be crazy if we ever get it.
Yeah.
Or Takeshita versus Danielson. Takeshita versus Moxley. No, we already saw that. I'm sorry, and that was fucking awesome.
Those, yeah. We already
saw that. That was fucking awesome. Forgot about that. He kicked out of the fucking. He kicked out of Paradigm Shift, and people popped like the Yuta thing. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Then we got our main event, an absolutely incredible match: Sting and Darby Allin defeating Ricky Starks and Big Bill for the AEW Tag Team titles. New champions at last, Sting and Darby. We know the template for these Sting and Darby tornado tags. Mm-hmm. We saw earlier in the year what they did. Somebody gets laid out,
and then they're fighting 2-on-1 and getting the heat put on them after fighting violently. And the next, and it seems like all is lost, and the other one comes and saves the other. Yeah,
a timeless formula.
Yep. But Darby, he looks funny and he's very small, so you forget that he's a great storyteller.
Sting's boys. Sting, El Hijo del Sting 1 and 2 are out there. just like the Villanos, Villano 1, 2, 3, that is, the Hijo del Stings out there.
You could be like El Hijo del Stephen Borden. Like you could.
Nah, El Hijo del Sting.
Del Sting just sounds wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell. Like, look, man. Obviously,
strong genes.
Yeah. Like, ain't a doubt. That looked like one of the like 90 or sorry, one of the like 90 early 90s Sting. The other one looked like Sting if he had let himself go a little bit, or was a power lifter and strictly that and wasn't on gas. I was like, oh yeah, those Stings, them Bordens. I know what that is.
Yeah,
ain't no doubt.
We know who your daddy is.
Yep. If Sting had been black, you know how many times them kids have been like, you look just like your goddamn daddy.
Yep. So I thought there was a great spot from Ricky Starks here with the hesitation. I bumped it a quarter star just for that. The hesitation to put Sting down and then it costing him. I like how he didn't overplay it. Like it was nice and subtle kind of. And Sting gets the pin on Ricky. Big Bill was awesome in this. Every Big Bill Darby interaction over the past, year or so has been great. I would love to see them work a singles match. And I think Bill is just like a guy I've always liked, and he has a presence. He can talk. He's like driven, obviously, and I think he can do some things or whatever.
Yeah. The Darby going for the tope through the ropes, and then the counter from Big Bill to catch him, and it turned into a boss man slam. That was fucking awesome. And then not only just the idea of doing it, but the execution where like he catches him and then dips him low and then picks him up high and then drops him. It just looked incredible.
Yeah, like that guy, like. he another guy, he should get a push. Like then Sting hits the reverse DDT on Ricky, wins the belts, celebrating with the family with Darby, and then Matthew and Nicholas Jackson emerge from the crack smoke with the white suits and the white baseball bats and start lighting them the fuck up. I don't know what happens, but Darby gets busted open. They turn, their backs and start whooping on El Hijo del Sting 1 and 2. Fuck them up. Not trained wrestlers. They're in a dangerous environment with these madmen wielding bats. They beat on Sting. They beat on Darby. They get blood all over them suits. The crowd is fucking furious, booing. It's so hot. This is one of the hottest angles in the history of AEW.
They wrestled on Rampage in the bloody suits for a squash match.
Incredible. Yep. Just the ultimate old school angle here. And I think anybody that was so... You know what happened a couple weeks ago, and this was the direction that was confirmed. We saw the crying. We saw the hoishness on the timeline. Right. We saw that. Well, how about it now?
Yeah, because the Young Bucks, the video game wrestlers, they laid out on the main event, or the end of the main event, they laid down a good old-fashioned Southern heel beatdown. It was violent and it was bloody. And it pissed off people. We get told that these motherfuckers don't understand wrestling.
Is that the kind of heat? Is that the heat you looking for?
Hey, Rich, you've heard me often. You've heard me say on times that like, hey, I get with some people with the Young Bucks, they don't like the physicality of the wrestling. Not to say that that the Young Bucks are soft or that they don't take incredible bumps as they do, and they get their ass kicked a lot. But like sometimes it doesn't feel like there's oomph there.
How about now?
Them baseball bats, that's the oomph. They beat Sting's ass with a baseball bat. Boo them niggas. How dare they? Sting ain't supposed to go down to no baseball bat. That's his weapon. Look, I know Triple H is like, see, that's that symbolism I be talking about. The weapon symbolism. That weapon symbolism. You beat somebody down with their own weapon.
Like, they was whooping Darby's ass, punch him in the head, fucking him up. Crowd's melting at this point, and you start thinking about Revolution and how hot that match is going to be. And it's going to be for the belts, as we can see.
Yeah.
Bucks said they about to run up their record and go through the ranks. We've arrived. Like, 3-way match, tag team belts.
Mm-hmm. We are,
man.
What are we? 4 weeks away or 3 weeks away?
We are 3 weeks away, I believe.
Yeah. Well done.
This was an angle. This was how you draw money. This is how you increase pay-per-view buys. They didn't have to shoot on anybody. They didn't have to do no bullshit. I remain impressed by how this was laid out between Sting and Darby, Matthew, Nicholas. Put him in the fucking Hall of Fame. What are we doing, man?
I don't know what we're doing.
What are we doing, man? Like, these guys, bro, they've done it again. They've done it again.
Yep.
Just incredible.
Feels great.
They say it's the EVP trigger. They renamed it.
Yep.
Nobody came out to help because the Bucks are EVPs and they must fear for their jobs.
$5,000 fine.
Yeah, Bucks may have to kick them from the building.
So, I don't know if they're going to do this, but like, I'm kind of interested to see like how they do like a Young Bucks versus like BCC like feud based around like who's giving who fines between Danielson and Nicholas and Matt Jackson.
That's
based
funny.
off of like you know what, if you want your work shoot shit, this should be it. Like you put that program of like who's finding who, right?
They just hand the money back and forth.
Yes,
it's to you. It's to you. It's to you.
Like all of a sudden, obviously, BTE is gone, but like if BTE was still around, all of a sudden, like they get a FedEx in, like they Nick or Matt get a FedEx in the mail, like how NFL players get FedEx in the mail for their fines. But what the fuck is this? Hold on, go walk out knock on the door. Hold on, bro, what's this?
Yeah, explain this.
Oh well, you weren't supposed to be doing. Hey man, I'm the EVP. I'll get fined here. And they start to feud off that. Like I will. Well, it's gone now, or whatever, or at least for now. But yeah,
was good to Frankie. Appreciate the 21-month streak here.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, man. Yeah, Excalibur told us the Bucks' reputation is officially destroyed. Adam Copeland and Eddie Kingston did respond to the attack, talk some shit about the Bucks, like, jumping on Sting like that. So, like, that's kind of what you want to hear. You want to see this stuff, like what the rest of the roster thinks of this. It's kind of it's a shared universe, as they say.
Yep.
So, yeah, and this Dynamite was just great. Like, this was like it was a phrase, restore the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
We here. Mission accomplished.
Like, yeah, man. Like, I saw this on Wednesday, loved it, thought it was, like, I didn't really get into thinking about, like, whether or not this is one of the greatest Dynamites ever time. I just knew it was one of the better ones immediately. And then, like, over the weekend, like, because of what was going on with Rock and Cody and Roman and Seth, I watched SmackDown. I was like, hey, man, we talked about this as far as, like, checking in on, like, the state of, like, internet wrestling discourse, and like it seems like people aren't happy, and I see these two shows and I'm like, what in the fuck are we arguing about? I saw a good SmackDown show that like moves along, is telling the story of the path of like people really want to get to WrestleMania, given the points of their careers, so they're in these qualifying things for the qualifying matches to get to the Elimination Chamber to get their last shot at getting to WrestleMania. I see this thing with The Rock and Triple H, or the Triple H promo. I see qualifying match between DIY and Mustache Mountain for the tag titles. And that's a good show. That's a very good show. And then this happened. I'm like, bro, both of these promotions, maybe it's 1 week sample size, both of these promotions doing well for themselves this week. I don't want to hear people talk about one sucks and one other. Both of these promotions look like they're on their jobs right now. Obviously, the main event WrestleMania thing is wonky, but it's compelling and they had a good show. I got nothing for you. I don't. Stop bitching about this shit. Y'all, both teams are playing. Both teams are doing well. Sorry. So yeah, that's basically my take when I watched back. I was like, bro, this is. Look at what? This is what a post-visit man major and rest world looks like. Good wrestling, good shows. Tell me to fuck up. I might watch SmackDown again next week because Rock and Roman gonna be on the show. Might do that. Just might. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Put James on SmackDown duty.
The SmackDown report from James Boyd. I ain't done that since 2018.
But I guess we should hit the music. Free Mayu Iwatani.
Okay. So, we talked about this last week about the fallout from Stardom Bushiroad firing Rossi Ogawa from Stardom, and following that, there's been Dave Meltzer is reporting in the Observer. And Fumi Saito talking to Jim Valley 2 days ago, long form about his basic reports of what's going on. And for the most part, it's more or less the same. Fumi in his YouTube video basically talked about and Jim Valley basically talked about people just have long assumed I'm anything that, or most things that Meltzer gets in regards to Stardom is from me because of my connections to Ogawa, to Rossi. That's not the case. And then Jim Valley went on to say yeah, man, when I first met you, it's because Dave told me to meet you, and Dave didn't even tell me what you did. And his response, and and it was funny because the story is Jim Valley met him, and they start driving, and then Jim asked Fumi, so what do you do? And then his response, his answer was, you see that seat, right? Or you see that seat, or this seat in the car? Hulk Hogan was sitting in that seat a week ago. So yeah.
How long ago was this?
When they first met?
Yeah.
It's been years.
Okay.
So maybe
when was the last time he was in Japan? Shit.
So, basically Fumi and Rossi's relationship dates back to the 80s. I think that's while he was working, for All Japan Women's, but not before he got moved up enough to where he's actually helping book stuff. He was basically at that point, he was the Crush Gal's manager. So fast forward, past stuff, get to actual Stardom, stuff. Dave Meltzer talked about this week about, Julia is leaving for WWE, at some point in the near future, but she agreed to, help Ross start up the new promotion. Sometime this year. It will happen, according to Fumi. Fumi said that he thinks 5 of the main eventers, 5 people not 5 of the main eventers, 5 people he deemed as main eventers want to go with Rossi's group, and will be able to leave after March. and that he has people that Fumi dubbed as golden rookies, and said that like they will be running. He said Sumo Plaza. I was like, I don't know what Sumo Plaza is, but I know what Sumo Hall is. Like, he's gonna run Sumo Hall. That's gigantic. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what Sumo Plaza is. So like maybe that was a misspeaking. But the plan is, Julia and main event talent, a number of them are leaving, and they are going to run a big show. They're not. It's not going. And it don't sound like it's going to be Korakuen Hall. So we'll see. Also, basically, he also hinted to Jim Valley, and by hints I mean like basically all but tell. Like hint the same way that Tony Khan hints about like people about the United Center and TD Garden. He said that like so he goes, yeah. So there are two wrestlers there that are smaller, and I guess in men's wrestling it'd be more considered like junior heavyweights that both came from Stardom, and like they can't leave yet until next year, but they want to leave, which is like, well, why didn't you just say their names? You basically explained there's only two people that fit that description. So Rich, you were worried about them being split up. They don't sound like they're gonna be split up. They're going to be together until next year at least, but it seems like they both want to leave and go with Rossi. So at this point,
man, who's gonna stay?
So that's what I'm getting at. So at this point, it seems like the only person that is staying is Tam Nakano, and I don't know if she's staying because she wants to stay or she's staying and also like to fill the power vacuum, or if she wants to stay because like she's one of the people that signed through the year. She has no choice, so she may as well she's gonna stay and then bounce anyway. Because like I don't know, but it ain't looking good for the Star. If all this stuff comes to fruition, it's gonna be Stardom ran how Stardom used to be ran, and one of the reasons why, and Fumi mentioned this as far as saying like this pairs with Meltzer's reporting about like I don't know if you read this when he talked about like they wanted him to play aggressive cards he was not happy about. Fumi elaborates, says like, remember we were playing about this 2 years ago. And this is also when they started saying like the thing started being weird. It's like, hey, there are 2 pay-per-views a week or 2 pay-per-views a month now. Used to always be 1, now it's 2. We noted about that. We talked about the Stardom Showcase stuff. Rossi said that he did not. He said that Rossi did not like having all the Stardom and Showcase stuff with all the gimmick matches because they didn't have any build towards anything. You're just doing them to do them. Same things he complained about. He also said that contributed. Fumi also said he felt, or not that Rossi did, but Fumi felt that contributed to the injury rate, which there was a lot of that. So yeah, like a lot of things we complained about over the last 2 years about like why are they running 2 pay-per-views a month or every 2 weeks? What is Stardom in Showcase exactly? Fumi is basically elaborating, saying like, the people that are in charge, Rossi thought that he was going to be in charge of the booking. Eventually, corporate did we have merchandise stuff here, so we need to like do the merchandise first and then worry about like how to get creatively to get to a heel or a face turn based off new merchandise.
It's like reverse engineering shit, and it's like you have to let the wrestlers lead the way, and then like support the wrestlers with the merchandising, with the promotion, and you can't design the promotion and then make the matches match. Like it's like that's how people get in trouble. Like that's how people get less interested in things.
Right, and that is also like how 80s cartoons were made, and when you go back and watch them past the nostalgia, if you were a kid and know no better, you're like, oh, these are awful. So Floyd was on here last week talking about He-Man being awful, and I pointed out on the show, like, He-Man was were toys that were eventually made into a show to then help them sell the toys, to launch the toys and sell them. And
Brewhaven said the same thing as you, James.
Sorry?
Brewhaven in the comments said the same thing as you at the same time.
Yeah. So, like that's just doomed for failure. So that's why you've seen, like, even though 2022 held up strong, 2023 went awry. And one thing I want to point out in Meltzer's reporting in the Observer was that, like, he said that, like, the Julia thing that caused the belt to be changed early was about Maya Yuki, and saying that Yuki did not want to had to be protected because she was a champion Ice Ribbon at the time. She was not. Not only was she not the singles champion in Ice Ribbon, she wasn't the champion in Ice Ribbon in any belt since 2021, and she wasn't the singles champion in Ice Ribbon since 2020. And I know that for a fact because that's the reason why. Because Yuki's title run at that time was the reason why I even got an Ice Ribbon, and then she lost to Suzuki. So I was like, huh? So that needs to be fixed or clarified on whatever the fuck he really meant or whatever else. But like,
because I thought their thing had nothing to do with it. But I thought it was a personal issue. They didn't.
That's what it really is, by all accounts. But Meltzer added this thing about she needed to be protected because she was a champion Ice Ribbon. Was like, she wasn't even in Ice Ribbon at the time. When they had that, when she showed up for the start of Triangle Derby, I was there over in Japan. I went to the first
Nihon James.
I went to the first few Triangle Derby shows, and I was at Ice Ribbmania. I don't remember if Yuki was there or not. I don't think she was on Ribbmania that year, let alone the champion or whatever, because Anna was a champion at the time. Anyway, so back to Let Your Hand. It just seems like the way this is going, like, there's going to be, because of the money of all this stuff, either Stardom is going to wash out with all the talent that's there, that are originally from the original Stardom, if you will, before the Bushiroad posters. That's more way
the real Stardom.
The real Stardom. And like, what's going to happen is, like, they're either going to have to fill the void by bringing in freelancers, top freelancers like Amaya Yuki, whatever else, and then to try to keep the thing afloat, or they're just going to shut it down, because that was something that Toru Okada mentioned, like, in his side of the story to Tokyo Sports, is that, like, if this shit don't hold up, we'll just shut it down, or we might have to just shut the shit down. And the amount of talent that Fumi made it seem like it don't seem like it's gonna be split down the middle. It's like everybody realized, like, corporate's involved in this, and they realize it, and they all trust Rossi because Rossi broke most of them into the business, or made them stars to levels they never were previously. They trust him. He's the one there all the time in the office. These people, they don't know. They just met these motherfuckers. They only come in to meddle with their ideas and plans. They all want out too. And also, as Stardom is, multiplied in profit, their contract's still the same because they're still getting paid mostly off commission, but their base salaries just got raised. But the base salary ain't gotten paid as a raise with the company. So they're all frustrated, apparently. And so, yeah.
Question from Zekamagi say, here's my thing. Didn't Bushiroad have this control with New Japan like they did Stardom? So I'll say this. I feel like this is a slightly different situation. I might be speaking out of turn here, but Bushiroad, like, they inherited Rossi Ogawa.
Yeah.
So Rossi's not their pick. They gave him a job there. Right. So there's familiarity. Like, who appointed Gato? Was it because Gato would be, like, I think, executing the Bushiroad vision or whatever the last decade or whatever.
Similar to how people talk about, like, when a GM hires a head coach or an AD hires a head coach in college football, it's like, you always have to be wary of it. Did the AD, did the GM make the hire? Because they're always going to bring in their guy if it's not, working as successfully as they would like, or they just won't always make a hire because that extends their job.
So I'm learning Gato was brought on right before Bushiroad took over, like a couple years. But I'm saying after years and years, they kind of become one. Right.
And also this should be noted. Fumi talked about this. Corporate views Stardom, or seemingly view Stardom, as this isn't wrestling. This is another thing to sell merchandising in card games and other shit, because Bushiroad is a card company. They don't see them as wrestlers in the sense that like they wouldn't come in and tell Gato to blow up his booking or change things because the wrestlers wouldn't listen to them, and neither would Gato, which we've seen before, which is like why the IWGP titles don't get defended or whatever else. But in regards to it being wrestling that are done by women, then they don't hold it in that same
less respect there.
So they just say we can do what we want, we can make it work because it's a merchandise machine. We can make anybody stars. It wasn't as far of a step as like the shit when people talked about how Lauren Knight thought he could do the Diva Search thing, but it sounds of like the same flaw in logic of thinking like, well, we can make anything work because we have talented wrestlers. Like, nah, that's not how that works. You got to have people that have done this before, or like have an eye for this that you've seen. And
I was going to say,
haven't done this before in that way.
I was going to say they're going to think they can turn around talent, but they're not going to have the scouting of Ogawa. They're not going to have the talent development like with him. They're just going to,
or the 40 years of experience, see the ups and downs, and know how to change things as time goes.
They're going like. This sounds all really bad. Like, this sounds like within 12 months, Stardom will not exist as we know it. Maybe even sooner than that.
Well, I mean, Rich,
it actually isn't going to exist as we know it. It might not exist, period, is what I mean.
Yeah. Like, I'm now like moved on from the side of saying like, I think that the post-Stardom situation, or the Rossi post-Stardom situation, promotion he's going to start is going to do well, and we have two great promotions, or two promotions worth watching, to now thinking like, nah, Rossi going to be fine because Rossi going to have his own money, because Rossi became a multi-millionaire off of the selling of Stardom. He's funding this shit on his own.
I didn't know all this.
Sorry?
I didn't know all that.
Yeah. So like, he's not looking for a backing like how when he first started, RCN, or when he started Stardom. Like, he's doing this out of his own pocket to start his own thing. So like, yeah, it seems like he has the talent. He already has connections. He already did this shit for multiple years with Stardom before he even sold to Bushi Road. Who knows what connection he has on the part where he's been around people.
He can get any building he wants, probably.
Because he has an issue that Fumi talked about, where it was like Cork and Hall, when they rent out, shows or whatever else, they give shows out to promotion via seniority. So like, if Stardom in this new Rossi thing is going to like have the same date, or they come to him for dates or whatever else, Stardom's gonna have the seniority, even though Rossi fucking promotion just 5 years ago, but whatever. But outside of that, it seems like he's going to have the talent. So, like Julia mentioned, like they said with Julia, like she's going to stick around for a few months to help get this shit off the ground with matches and programs until she leaves off for WWE. So yeah, like, and then like the people, and then and it's going to shit. It seems like it's going to come in waves where like people that were signed on longer than just the end of this particular spring, it seems like they're not gonna stick around for Stardom either. So yeah, they're gonna have to circle the wagon.
Saying she's gonna stand around now. Micah saying she's gonna stand around.
But the thing, when they say stand around, we don't know how long that means.
We don't know how long. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
because like Mayu has to stand around, but she just being vocal and saying she don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that was coming out with regarding Mayu Iwatani, and it was like, as far as like, translations and stuff, I don't know. There's a lot of like reporting around her unhappiness.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, she's got the movie coming this year.
Yep.
So like, there's a lot of pressure on her. Like, she still has that IWGP belt,
yep,
which even gets weirder now by the day. Like, when you think about it in conjunction with like Julia having the fucking New Japan Strong belt, and eventually that shit's got to come off of her. And
well, I mean, it's not gonna become off her. It's just that she's gonna hand it in.
Yeah, she gonna turn that bitch in. Yeah.
Like, do you think Natsuko Tora?
Is there any chance in hell?
You think Natsuko Tora in a couple weeks is gonna be her? Because I don't.
I don't think Julia is doing a job to anybody,
right,
anymore.
Right.
Yeah, like she would be like, "I refuse."
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Like first off, never mind. I'm not gonna get to it. I was move on after saying like I wouldn't have chose that opponent for her, but whatever. That's their prerogative.
Laugh with me says if Rossi's Fed doesn't bang, people might re-sign next year with Stardom. I mean, the money will be there with Stardom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the money will be there.
The money will be there.
So at least just like people that are familiar with that setup will be like, yeah, that's the money.
I just have questions about like the management strategy. Like if they see the promotion as like the wrestling is the last thing, and they see them as like essentially these assets that like they don't see the wrestling first, that concerns me.
Right.
Like just from a know-how standpoint.
Right.
It's like that means you truly don't know what you're doing.
Right. And it's like that is a particularly hard brand of wrestling to be getting involved in for you to know that now. And then continue and then sign up for it and continue to do it. Unless you're just in it for the power and money. And there are plenty of people that will do that. Or there will be a number of people that will do that. Like, I just think that at this point, like, a lot of the roster is going to be like, hey, I've done it and I made some money with Rossi and like, I can make some money without Rossi. But like, I'm out in like, it's for the people and like Stardom will be for the people that like, you know, like a lot of the ice ribboners or some of the ice ribboners are like, just like, I you know, like the Sheeta Asuka types be like, never Rossi. Like they might stick their heads into Stardom, whatever else, and good for them.
Kong?
Possibly, whatever. But it's like,
can't wait to get Aja Kong and Stardom.
But like, I don't know, man. Like that's a hard schedule. That's going to have to continue. Like maybe, you know, maybe the company benefits from the part where like they lose so much star power that they have to pull it back. But the way they were talking about, like, you know, you want to go back to the local markets and do, you know, basically do the Road 2 stuff or whatever else. It's like, nah, man, the Road 2 stuff is what wore out this roster. Like, cause we're wrestling 3 times a week.
It's a lot.
You're wrestling 3 times. You're wrestling 3 times a week, and it's a hard style after the third match or after the second match.
Question from Zekamaki. He says, "Put the IWGP title on Tam. I don't know if I'm even interested in Julia going to the Fed at this time. Like, does Momo, Azumi, Starlight Kid, and maybe a few others get booked different than they are now if they go with Rossi?"
I mean, we got to see who are these 5 people that Fumi has dubbed as main eventers, right?
Because it could be like Shuri, it could be like Utami, you know,
Kamatani. Like, because look,
Kamatani
since 2021, there have been 6 people you can consider a main eventer in Stardom, from my opinion. It'd be Tam Nakano, Shuri, Julia, Utami Hayashishita, Saya Kamatani, and Mayu Iwatani. I think those would be the 6 people you say are the clear main eventer / biggest stars of the company since 2021. If I don't think they're clean sweeping that. I just don't. Clean sweeping it to where, well, one, just mathematically they can't even get. He said 5. If I don't know if he's including Julia or not, but Tam and Mayu are staying, or have to stay / are staying. So like mathematically, who else are we talking about? Would that be Poi? Would that be Mina? Like, is that Micah? We don't know. We don't know. But it obviously leads to reckless speculation, and you know we've already done a lot of that here in different parts of the wrestling world, so we may as well do it here now, I guess. But yeah, like once he let the bag out, but once he let the bag out to me, or that Fumi let the bag out, like he's talking about Starlight Kid and Azumi is like, oh well, okay then. You know, like for me, my fandom, like I got Mayu, I got Tam,
they go, I go,
I got Shuri, and then and then after that, like for me, it's Azumi and Starlight Kid, like, because of the rivalry and the future of it. Like it's basically like that. Wherever they go, I go. You know, like I don't know how much Tam and Starlight be doing this. Julia's leaving.
Well, then I am too. Like,
so we'll see how this goes, and it'll be interesting to see, like, you know, over the months, because like the word was March is when a lot of these contracts run out, and I don't, you know, they've already sold a shit ton of tickets for that Philadelphia show for WrestleMania week.
Man.
Like, they're going to have to announce a lineup, you know, or as far as who's going to be there and who's not. And you'll have a clear picture
You're
of
gonna see.
who's on the Rossi side and who's on the Bushiroad side as far as getting them checks. So, yeah, man, I just hope that it's like not a landslide in favor of Rossi Ogata. I would like to see if they're going to split this, if this roster has to get split up, I would like to see it be something equitable to where we can see like 2 kick-ass promotions. Cause there's enough talent on that Stardom roster a week ago for it to be 2 kick-ass promotions.
Man. So all kind of stinks either way.
Oh, also, Fumi mentioned that like he has that Rossi already has a belt being made. Would not answer whether or not the belt was.
Is it red?
See. That was the first question Jim Valley asked. That was the first thing I thought about. Is it red or not? But would not answer that. Said that there will be a tag titles and believes that there will be trios titles. I don't remember if he said there will be a secondary title like a white belt or all Pacific. I'm not sure.
Well, I wonder what Rossi's going to call it.
That's interesting. That's what I'm wanting to know next. Like, but like when Fumi said like they're gonna run a show this year, and he said Sumo Plaza, and I'm like, I don't know what no Sumo Plaza is, but I know what Sumo Hall is. That's, you know, that's a big thing.
Brewhaven Pro Wrestling Mary. That's funny. That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got on the Stardom end right now as we go right now. But you know, they breaking up a dynasty, man. They consolidated all that goddamn talent, and it was just, you know, we thought like it was gonna be
exploded.
We thought it was gonna be, you know, retirements or whatever else. It turned out to be the other thing.
The business.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
For those that are listening via podcast, I changed my background to Julia versus Tam because one is staying and one is going for now. And as usual, it's Tam Rowe versus Ice Lore. As always, the best, the best of the ideologies. You know, you got Enochiism, you got Baba shit, and you got Tam Rowe and Ice Lore.
Oh man. I think I'm gonna see what Rossi's talking about. So
look. You know, I don't, you know, for some reason, well, I know why, because he's a hater. Velcage claims that he don't like either one, and I'm just like, hey, bro, like, the Ice Lore and the Tam Road has been some of the best stuff I've ever seen in pro wrestling. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. So, we'll see where it ends up or whatever else. Worry. But, if it goes down, if Stardom goes down,
Velcage will be,
look. And it'll just be something else by name, because you know how they say, you know, church is not a building, it's not a place, it's people. If all them damn people is with Rossi, Stardom will live on. It will just be called something else.
Velcage will be lurking around a corner somewhere, whatever happens. He ain't
ready to hate, ready to be hateful. Me.
Oh man, but yeah, sucks that you know this whole thing is kind of risen, and you hope that they would start recognizing, like, on the Stardom end, that is a faulty philosophy that they are planning to operate with. Someone needs to have a conversation with them. I don't know who it is, to say, hey, if you want to keep this thing rolling, here's what you do. Like, you find a fucking, like, a top 4 or 6 and you protect them and you build everything from there. You don't come up with something in a fucking boardroom, say you want to sell it, and then it's like, all right, all these matches have to match now.
Right.
No.
Right. Now, like, better yet, to be like, hey, you see how you bought this thing and it was making X amount of money, and then, like, since you bought it in, like, the 2 years when you didn't fucking mess with it, or 3 years when you didn't fucking mess with it, it quintupled in value. You're not gonna, the only thing you're gonna do is fuck it up. It's not broken. Leave it alone. But no. Gotta meddle.
Sekumaki says, I do think just the number 2 promotion goes down the drain, Tam's going to have to carry Stardom on her back. I do think with Okada leaving some of the Stardom, or with Okada leaving, some of the Stardom talent will try to leave and try America. The Japanese wrestling scene is kind of dire, and possibly losing Korakuen Hall in the Dome.
Yeah, there's
somebody's going to jump.
Yeah, someone's going to jump. We don't know who. And also mentioned in the Meltzer report was that like we talked about as far as the Tony Khan shots at Rossi, was that like, you know, AEW side was, you know, really frustrated with like not being able to get Stardom wrestlers, one of them for Forbidden Door. They obviously had pay-per-views on the same day. But like over on the Stardom side, people said they were furious at Tony Khan over it. Like, because that shit ain't got to do with Tony Khan, or that shit ain't really got to do with Rossi. Like, that was Obari who got fired. Or sorry, Harada that got fired. So, yeah, man. And we'll see. Also, mention, like, with the 5 wrestlers, the 5 domestic wrestlers, or 6 domestic wrestlers, there was also talk of, like, Rossi wants to bring in 5 foreigners. Like, he wants to get back to the 2007 era, or not 2017 era, but like the post Yoshika era, where it's like, it's a mix of both, or whatever else. So, that'd be cool, because obviously that's a huge distinction from what like Bushiroad Stardom has been. Like, that shit has been domestic as fuck. And like, I don't know who the 5
That's
are.
how Niagara Driver likes it. Niagara Driver ain't trying to see no foreigners out here.
I'll let Niagara Driver defend himself.
If you ain't from Nihon, take your ass out. Shout out Niagara.
Oh man, that's funny.
You ain't from Nihon, get the fuck on. Exactly.
Someone wrote that for real? Oh, okay.
No, I wrote that. Me.
Okay. No, the way you said it was like as if someone said that on the board, like, nah, who typed that up that damn fast? Okay. All right, there you go. If you ain't from Nihon, get the fuck on. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. All right, yeah, but I think that's the end of the show. We ain't topping that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks for listening, y'all. If you are listening, if you're watching from the stream, you're not listening to the podcast, be sure to go to our podcast and the show notes and go to our Red Circle link there. You can donate there. Be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Wrestle Things with Chris Plant. Did I say that right this time?
Wrestle Art
with Chris Things. Chris Plant. What the fuck am I doing? My bad, Chris. My bad. I will one day like look at the show notes and actually read the damn thing off. Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast. WWE
all-time great audio from Trish and Sarah.
Okay,
the last episode.
I'll check that out. I haven't gotten to it yet. I saw that Tunnel Talk released something yesterday or this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta get to that too. So, and also, last but not least, the ugly duckling on the podcast, RSS feed, M's WWE Adventure, like covering the biggest promotion in the world, and it gets the least amount of love from us because it's
30 minutes a week. 30 minutes a week. That's all we can suffer. That's all we can clear to go out over our airwaves.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.